rolling on a Tuesday, middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm your host, John Marks. Good morning, everybody listening on 97.5 The Fanatic, FM, the good old-fashioned radio dial, on the app, the 97.5 The Fanatic app. Are you kidding me? As Tom McGinnis would say, it's amazing. Make sure you download it. If you're watching live on YouTube, be a part of our YouTube chatters. Or just watch it, and you can go and you can watch whenever, as I do frequently when I'm doing the dishes. I'll go back and I'll sample some of our show from the day. Just make sure you like and subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. As we say good morning to freshly cut lollipop in his mouth, Ray Dunn. What's up, Raymond?
I do love that everyone's complimenting me on the new haircut when I have not gotten a new haircut.
Doesn't it look like you got a new haircut? Sean Brace, good morning, Sean.
Oh, great to be with you. Hello, everybody. Ray, let me see. Let me get a look. Yeah.
He did TV this morning.
Oh, there it is.
Nope.
No.
So you just combed your hair?
I mean, I just threw a ton of water on it this morning.
Oh, yeah.
No gel? Some mousse?
No gel. Just
okay. Well, it doesn't his hair look like a freshie?
John, when are you going to start to realize that it's good to be Ray Dunn? Like,
I've already realized that.
You've been saying it now for a little while. It's got to come to your brain at the beginning of it.
It's also good to be us.
Hey, Ray.
Because A.J. Brown has been traded, and we have a lot to talk about, Sean Brace. Let me open up with the non-emotional part of how I feel about it, right? Because it feels like the emotions have been really ramped up from when it was fairly obvious, I think, to anybody with half of a brain that he was going to be traded. You still had the holdouts that were like, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, it makes sense he wants to be traded. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you why he wants to be traded. More on that in a second. But it's fairly obvious this trade was coming down. It was a matter of compensation and what the Eagles were able to get. And when it was all said and done, there was one place for him to go. It was the New England Patriots. This whole entire situation was manipulated from the start. He was always going to New England. He always wanted to go to New England. Mike Vrabel knew he was going to New England. How clean and neat this entire thing was. It happens pretty much like right at 4 o'clock. A.J. Brown's ready to do a podcast a couple hours later to talk about it. He's up in New England today doing a physical. Mike Vrabel's going to talk about the trade and everything else. This was as clean and neat as anything that you'll see. A.J. didn't speak badly about the team. He said nothing outside of a podcast where he was very complimentary of the Eagles and the Eagles fans. And that was it. And now A.J. Brown is a Patriot. But I am so happy today because A.J. Brown needed to leave Philadelphia. A.J. Brown wanted to leave Philadelphia, and A.J. Brown is now out of Philadelphia. It's better for the team. The Eagles are better off without A.J. Brown. Now, as far as compensation, I was surprised at how much they got. I didn't think they were getting a clean first-round draft pick and another draft pick, a fifth-round pick. Think about it this way, all right? When you buy a car, the minute you drive that car off the lot, it depreciates, right? Now, the longer you drive it, the more miles you put on it, the more it depreciates. When the Eagles traded for A.J. Brown, they gave up a first-round pick and a third-round pick. And in the 4 years in Philadelphia, the Eagles made the playoffs 4 years. They won a Super Bowl. They went back to another Super Bowl. A.J. Brown was exactly the player they traded for, exactly the player they needed, and they had great success with A.J. Brown. Now, unlike a car, when you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. A.J. Brown really didn't depreciate, but his body depreciated just like a car did. He's got bulky knees. I don't know if he's a problem in the locker room, but you can see what comes with A.J. Brown, the player. But so you traded A.J. Brown for nearly as much as you traded for him 4 years ago. You got a first and a fifth back. You got 4 years of A.J. Brown. You won a Super Bowl. He was an elite wide receiver, and he's unhappy. You trade him away. You get nearly the same return that you gave away when you traded for him 4 years. I couldn't be happier. It was time for the Eagles to move on from A.J. Brown. And I am ready and I am set. And let's go Birds, Sean Brace. Good morning.
Well, I think you just handled it. I guess our job's done, Ray. Like, that's it. I mean,
let's go home.
That's essentially how we all should view this, right?
Well, not necessarily.
In the grand scheme of things, it's about, on to the next. And we got a season, and he's no longer here. And, like we talked about yesterday, I think everybody was ready to let this go. Like, okay, time to move on. But I can't get there. Not today.
Right. Well, today's not the day to be me.
I'll tell you straight up. I told you guys I would have top 5 A.J. Brown touchdown for you today. I can't do that today.
No.
No. I'm fired up. I'm aggravated This dude is about as fraudulent as it gets. Point blank. Again, if you go back into the beginning of last year, you can go ahead and check my timeline somewhere in September, third week, maybe the end of September. The number one thing that bothered me the most was that our vibes were off as a reigning Super Bowl champion. And that bothered me. You know how I am. I'm a guy that likes to, stir it up, have some fun. I want the party.
You're a vibes guy.
Yeah, I'm a vibes guy. We were the reigning Super Bowl champions. We were at the top of the mountain, the highest of the high. We got the hardware. We got the ring. And we got the team to come back. But our vibes were off. Our vibes weren't off because of Jalen Hurts. Our vibes weren't off because of Nick Sirianni. Our vibes weren't off because of Howie Roseman, Jalen Carter spitting at Dak week one. Our vibes were off because of A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown. He's the one that manipulated this whole situation, made Jalen Hurts look like the bad guy. And I don't give a damn if you're going to go out there and tell me, Joe sent the Quitas in the world telling me that, everybody in the locker room would trade Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm wearing right here, people? This is a Super Bowl champion hat.
And a Jalen Hurts jersey.
And a Jalen. That was just, random. Laundry day.
It's just a regular Tuesday.
Didn't have anything clean to wear. So I said, let me put on my Jalen jersey. A.J. Brown ruined the vibes for a team that had championship aspirations. Nobody else. He's the one that lobbed that grenade in. Early. Requesting trades multiple times. Stand on your business, A.J. If you're so unhappy to be here and you write that BS Instagram post after the Super Bowl where it's about me, I. This is a team game. You play to win championships. And what'd you do? You ruined the season last year by throwing off the vibes. Just never stepping up. He said the one time that he had an issue with the passing game. You know what, man? Why don't you be accountable? Why don't you step up to the microphone? If you're so unhappy to be here that you're requesting trades multiple times in a year, step up and tell us that. Step up and be out there and tell us exactly why Jalen Hurts isn't getting you the football the way you would like. Maybe the offensive coordinator isn't handling business. I've had enough. Too many people out there trying to make A.J. Brown the good guy. And then the trade goes down. And what do we have? Instagram posts ready to go. We got AI photos of him in a Patriots jersey. We got some BS script that was 98% produced by AI. The only thing that he did was put his damn name on it. He's a fraud. And I'm glad he's out of here. 3 great years, but he screwed the Eagles last year. Point blank. I'm glad AJ's out of here. Get him out.
I will say this.
You don't want to be here. Get him out.
I think when I look back on it, it's certainly calculated, the entire thing going into the year. He wasn't happy last year. He wasn't happy in 2023. He went into the season, and based on things that you hear was, like what T.O. told us yesterday. Terrell Owens joined us yesterday. And he had said, he wouldn't say, I talked to AJ and this is what AJ said. But, Ray, you would agree, listening to the interview, he was telling us what AJ was saying and where the problems were. Realizing that if he says too much, it's going to make a big scene and it's going to be a big story. And one of the things that he said was that the chemistry was off from the beginning of the year. And when they struggled at the beginning of the year, that set kind of the team on fire early. If we believe what's reported, and I do, he was requesting trades as early as week 3. So they're telling him all offseason, AJ, it's going to be fine. AJ, we have a new offensive coordinator. AJ, the passing offense is going to look different this year. AJ, you're going to get 1,400 yards. AJ, everything's going to be great. And then they came out, and it was the same boring, stinky offense, except their offensive coordinator sucked. It was a downgrade as the offensive coordinator. So from that point, everything seemed calculated. From Vrabel's comments where he's towing the line of talking about A.J. Brown and upgrading the wide receivers, that was before the season last year, during the season last year. He was always going to the Patriots. This was good. This was going to happen. This was going to happen before last year. Unless things significantly improved, he was getting traded to the Patriots. He was going to make sure he weaseled his way to New England and went to the Patriots. And if some of these other teams would have gotten involved that he would be willing to go to, yeah, sure, he could have went to Kansas City or the Rams or some of these other places. But when that dried up and they weren't there, it was fairly obvious that that A.J. Brown was going to New England. And it does seem calculated. And as you say,
oh, yeah,
it is a little yucky.
Yeah, it's definitely
It feels
yucky.
a little yucky.
Yeah, there's no.
Yucky.
I got people talking about when he comes back here next year, they're going to give him a roaring round of applause.
Oh, standing ovation. Let's put it on the show sheet, Ray.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? To even utter those words today, how dare you? I got people telling me he's a good teammate. I can't wait to get into all
right,
this.
so here's what we're going to do. The phone number is 610-632-0975. That is the call. John Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn. 610-632-0975. The Davis Honda text line is the same number, and you can send the voice memos on the Davis Honda text line. Let us know what you're thinking. 610-632-0975. Sean, give me 15 seconds on your thoughts of A.J. Brown before we go to break and we turn it back.
Meaning,
give me 15 seconds of going nuts on A.J. Brown. Your thoughts on the trade?
well, again, the trade had to happen. And I'm happy that they got the first-round pick. I never thought that Howie would get anything less than that. I'm just so frustrated about everything that has taken place because I just want to revisit what took place last year.
Well, you called A.J. a fraud.
He is a fraud, point blank.
Okay.
Last year, he was a fraud.
Okay.
He was. He never stood on business. If he was so unhappy to the point that he could not wait to get out of here.
He couldn't wait.
Man, he was excited to be a New England Patriot.
It's the cleanest trade of a superstar in NFL history. I've never seen anything like this.
It's a new precedent.
Perfectly executed by all parties, including A.J. Brown.
It's a new precedent, that's
All
for
right,
sure.
A.J. Brown, what? Oh, by coincidence, I slipped on a banana peel. Hey, Maria Taylor, and your podcast. Let's do it last night at 7 o'clock. It dropped. Oh! We have cuts from it. He talks about Jalen Hurts. He talks about everything else. We'll play some of that for you. But your reaction next, 610-632-0975. It's Middays with Marks, 97.5.
John, why should on...
It is Middays with Marks. John Marks, a very fired up Sean Brace. And I love Sean when he gets fired up. The face gets so red.
I'm heated. I'm so heated.
Wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey. I have my A.J. Brown jersey with me.
It's laundry day. I needed something to wear today, and I said, You know
You're
what?
sending a message.
No,
Really?
no. Just needed something to wear today.
Well, act like you were sending a message because you're Team Jalen. Yeah, wink, wink, wink.
You see the cap, too. You know, you got to wear the Super Bowl champion cap, which AJ was a part of.
But, Sean, I mean, as far as, and we'll get to your phones. We have a lot of text messages, voice memos, et cetera. We'll get to them. This is a nice long segment right here. But, like, I think you're being a little bit hard on AJ. I mean, after all, he brought the book on the sideline because he wanted to calm himself down.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, listen, I mean, he read the book, so he didn't yell on the sideline when he was upset. This is a very deep-thinking former Eagle now, Sean.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, when you get an opportunity to look back at it, right, and everything that has taken place. And man, he has been – I've never seen anything like it. This is a star athlete that just wants out. He doesn't want to be here, right? Like, this is a forgive me for the comparison, but a Scott Rowland type of vibe I'm feeling right now, where totally apples and oranges, but at the end of the day, it's a star player that doesn't want to play here. That's it. And he wanted to go to New England, and now he's waxing poetic about how it was meant to be. But, oh, by the way, what was meant to be was the Eagles were competing for a dynasty. We're talking about one of the best teams in the NFL, a super team, if you want to take it back to last year's offseason, with everybody that was talking about Howie Roseman and his team he put together, and Jalen Hurts and not getting any credit still to this day. But putting Jalen to the side for just a second. Again, AJ, the me. Look at I on the sideline with the book, right? And then, like, this whole rewriting history about being a great teammate because Saquon Barkley steps up there and says, you know what? I love AJ. I'm not going to say a bad word about AJ. I'm not here to tell you that he's not loved. I'm not here to tell you that AJ's not liked. I like AJ Brown. But this situation stinks. He's a fraud. Great teammates don't force organizations into corners and to trade me. Great teammates don't request a trade after you won the Super Bowl and you're 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, and you want out? For what? Because you're not happy. Me, I. It's not the first time we've seen a diva wide receiver, but it's the first time we've seen a diva wide receiver keep it up close to the vest. He deserves some credit on that because I'll tell you what, well played. Well played. Oh, the Patriots and Eagles haven't talked since March. My ass.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, it's the cleanest trade in the history of the
We
sport.
got graphics ready. John,
It could go in the training camp, Sean.
we had a sponsorship with Angie. What is it, Ray? A
Angie.
moving company?
It's a moving company.
We had a sponsored Instagram post as if my guy's hurting for money. Come on, man.
Well played. Ray, before we get to the phones and the text, what's your thoughts on this?
It's kind of sad. I was totally numb. I saw the notification and went literally right back to whatever I was doing in that moment. I was like, you know what? It's over. It's been over. Cool. It happened within 20 minutes. We kind of got the sense yesterday that it was going to happen within the day. And it's like, I should be more emotional about this at this point. But he broke me. He broke me because I was the one in front of the building. I was the one that was the protester saying, don't bulldoze this historical monument.
You changed yourself to the bulldozer.
And ultimately, when they bulldozed the building, I was busy looking at my phone. I was like, yeah, I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
He totally took himself out of the heart and soul of what I wanted this team to be. So I'm done.
This may not be the take for some people today, but I couldn't be happier today. Today's a really good day.
See, I'm not there.
It's a really good day.
No, I'm not there.
I'm so glad he's out of here. You got the best of AJ Brown for 4 years, and you almost got exactly
3.
No, 4. Oh, because you're complaining about last year. Yeah.
Is that fair? Is that fair?
Yeah. No, like
I want to be fair on this.
so when you say it,
he was
the
clearly
playoff game
And that
during the season.
you said it yesterday.
During the season. No, he was like you couldn't bring him back because the chemistry. Whether or not he was demanding to be traded or not, I mean, like the chemistry issue. Even if the teammates love him, which I believe they do, you can't bring a player like that back. Not when he's in the crosshairs with the quarterback. I guess that's why I'm happy is that like this needed to happen, and it happened, and he's gone, and we're gonna look back at the AJ Brown. I mean, the tenure of AJ Brown's gonna be looked back as great. They won a Super Bowl. They went back to another. He was exactly what the Eagles needed. He was exactly what they traded for. And now he's out. And by the way, Ray, if they would have kept him, wouldn't it have just gone down a little bit more and a little bit more? Because he can go to the Patriots, and I think he's going to have a good first 2 years at the Patriots. He gets his knee drained twice a week. Is that the story that's out there now? He gets his knee drained all the time.
Oh, that's bulky.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got the best of A.J. Brown. Now you're moving on. Let's go.
Yeah, see, you're a better person than I am. Because I need a couple of years before I get to the appreciation of this whole thing. I need.
So are you mad at him?
I'm just mad at the way this all transpired. I think most of it's going to end up focused on him, and I don't necessarily want it to be because I appreciate what he gave us. But, I'm just mad that we're out talking about moving on from a wide receiver one. I get 29 years old. Oh, the cliff is so close. Well, guess what? We're in the middle of a Super Bowl window. It's the same thing I was saying in January about the fact I didn't want to deal the guy. And now that he's been dealt, and now that we're actually talking about it, it's like, yeah, do I think this team's better right now? X and O's wise, no. I understand what you're saying about inside there, the chemistry's gone. But I'm mad that it got to this point.
Based on the way he was playing last year, they're not any worse. You can't have the guys you signed suck,
right,
and that be okay. But he wasn't good last year, man. He just wasn't.
As long as you draft Mekhi Lemon and not A Lemon, maybe we're good. But thank you.
I like
Thank
that.
you. Appreciate that. Be here all week.
I'm ready to put Stowers. This is a very pre-take,
okay,
premature take. But I think Stowers is a more important piece to the puzzle. I really do.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Long way to go.
But
Contenders
Howie
Both are
Roseman,
rookies.
Howie Roseman has taken a bunch of darts. Hollywood Brown, at the very least, is a guy that is an NFL player, right? Elijah Moore, probably not. The rookie, we'll see what he does this year. But they didn't just trade A.J. Brown. They're like, oh, yeah, we're fine. We have Hollywood Brown. No. They didn't do that. They traded for Wicks. So ultimately, Howie's got to hit on one of these. Last year when they got a bunch of defensive ends, edge rushers, that didn't work. So it doesn't have to work. Honest to God, I'm not worried about A.J. Brown leaving as far as the offense. I'm not worried about it at all. Not in the slightest bit. This offense is going to be just fine.
See,
go ahead.
Because I want it to be.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, but you tell me why it wouldn't be.
Because you just took away a top flight receiver from a passing game that's been one of the worst in football over the last 2 years.
So you took away a 1,000-yard receiver in A.J. Brown from last year.
Right.
And are you going to get another wide receiver that's going to have 1,000 yards this year? Probably not, but you're going to get increased usage with Devontae Smith. You're going to get something from the rookie. You're going to get more from your third and fourth wide receivers, Saquon Barkley, and tight ends. And you have a new offense. Isn't the more important thing what Jalen Hurts looks like with this offense than losing A.J. Brown?
Absolutely. But what Jalen Hurts looked like with this offense was more important than anything that could happen this offseason, A.J. Brown included.
What's best for Jalen Hurts in the offense? Or what's best for Jalen Hurts?
Have as many weapons as possible?
No. Nope. Sean.
Run game.
Run game, offensive line.
Yeah.
You don't need two receivers making $30 million a year.
Well, while we're talking about
Just
that,
don't.
we sent two of them to Columbia this offseason to get healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. It doesn't mean that it has to work, but with A.J. Brown and without A.J. Brown, they still need to be healthy.
Yeah.
With A.J. Brown, if your offensive line sucks, they're not winning anything.
True.
Correct.
They're just not.
Yeah, they're going to run the football still a ton. I get it. It's going to come around to the wide receivers, and there's going to be plenty for these guys to eat. But it's still coming back to Saquon and this offensive line. It just is. They are going to run the football. The Shanahan, McVay, they want to run the football first,
And they want to throw to tight ends. Agreed with you, but you know what else it's coming down to? What does Jalen Hurts look like in this offense?
Absolutely.
Is he able to do what Mannion's asking him to do? That's what it's coming to come down to. Now, Mannion's going to be smart and not think he doesn't have Matt Stafford, somebody who can run the McVay offense like they like.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to compromise with some stuff, but he's got to evolve as a quarterback.
Well, what would make life easier as a quarterback if your star number one wide receiver that everybody's ranting and raving about, not you, but everybody in national media and making a big deal, he's going to New England, if he would do a little bit more than 3 for 25 with 3 drops on 7 targets in a wild card game.
How about that, Ray?
Yeah. I would like him to look better.
Need a little more from your number one.
But when he, I'm not going to say quit because I don't think that he actively quits. He's going through the motions, and this happened numerous times. He wasn't finishing routes.
He didn't want to be here.
Yeah, he didn't want to be here.
Yeah,
he was so indifferent.
There's where the anger should be pointed. It's him.
I can't look forward to this season today. I have to look back, and I am so mad at what took place last year. The vibes. You were the Super Bowl reigning champions, and our vibes were off.
All right, some
because
reaction.
of him.
Joe Jack is calling from Southwest Philly. Joe Jack?
Yes, sir.
What's up, Joe Jack?
Joe Jack with the guitar strap. I got 2 words for how I feel about the A.J. Brown trade. And I'm a 12th man, ultimately.
Okay.
Bye, Felicia.
So you're happy to see him
Bye,
gone.
CC. See you later.
CC, keep on walking. Is that what you just did right there, Joe Jack?
Hey, bye, Felicia. That's how I feel. And I'm with Team Mad Swabble. So Google that kid. He's a dope hip hop artist from Philly. That's how we feel.
I like that.
All right, Joe Jack. Appreciate it.
Better act like CC and keep on walking.
I don't know what I don't know that.
That's big, I think. Yeah, I think that's Notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
Yeah, but CC Peniston, keep on walking.
I know CC Peniston,
Yeah.
but not the
Yeah, that one.
not that song.
I think they were booked for the 250.
CC Peniston when they backed out.
What world are we living in? Milli Vanilli is on my TV last night being interviewed. Like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah, because I know everybody was just longing for Milli Vanilli to make their return.
Milli Vanilli.
I mean, after all, they did win the Grammy not singing and lip syncing.
Which, you know what? If we go back and look at history, right? Should they have gotten a pass a little bit, right? No one sings. No, they all
Absolutely.
have the backup tracks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? All right.
They should
enough
give it's like Reggie Bush. Give him his Heisman
give
back.
them the Heisman back.
Give them their Grammys back.
John Calipari, give them back the banners at Memphis. Let's go.
Blue Meanie checking in on the Davis Honda text line said, Hollywood Brown needs to do the ultimate good guy move. Take the number 11. Save us some money. See, I do not want Hollywood Brown to be 11 because I like it. To me, it diminishes the jersey. I have an AJ Brown jersey. I've never worn it.
Mm-hmm.
I probably will never wear it. But you know, Ray, when I'll wear it is when he's gone. Now it actually becomes a throwback because he's no longer with the team. I don't need Hollywood Brown wearing 11.
But you got to be careful, though. That could be considered as a protest jersey.
It's not. I'm not being like I may have to wait a couple of years and then buy some sneakers.
Yeah. You can't wear it this week.
No, I'm not wearing it. I have it. I'm not wearing it.
You're a better guy than I am on this whole thing. I think more talking to you, this might be what actually gets me upset about this whole thing. That we need to protect number 11 for him. The hell with that. If you want out of town, your jersey goes to whoever.
No, I mean, yeah, but like I agree with that. He doesn't deserve to have the Randall treatment where you don't give the jersey number out, but give it to a Smith. I don't want people walking around be like, "Oh yeah, you got a Hollywood Brown jersey." No, I don't. I would never get that jersey. I have an A.J. Brown jersey.
And you know what should have protected that jersey? A.J. Brown staying in town.
Let me. I wonder how many people out there are like this. Where honestly, I don't give a damn. I am so happy he's gone. It was a great run last year. Was the writing on the wall? He put the writing on the wall. You need to move on from him. Honestly, I wish you could have tenures like this in sports all the time. 4 years, it was clean, got a little bit messy at the end. Boom, he's gone. And then that's it. Seriously, this is great. And you get a first and a fifth. Anybody else surprised that they got a first and the fifth?
No.
I was.
No.
They almost got Waddle compensation. Waddle was the first and the third. They swapped fourths, which takes away the value from the third, right? So they got a little bit more. The Dolphins got a little bit more for Waddle.
I thought that there was going to be something else thrown on. I thought first round pick, but I thought there would be something else.
I thought the Eagles would have to give maybe a fourth and get a fifth. But nope, clean. First and a fifth, bam, deal done.
Oh, they haven't talked since March?
They haven't.
No.
Ask all the insiders.
Oh, yeah. Again, this is setting the bar, man. You got Howie, forgive me, general manager up in New England.
Elliot Wolf.
Elliot Wolf.
Really, this is a Vrabel deal. I was listening to the Sports Hub yesterday after the news broke. Actually, listened last night, but it was clearly a Vrabel move. This is not a move that the Patriots typically make. This is you want your guy, we're getting you the guy. Because if you think about it, right, and we'll play the cut, we'll play the reaction up there coming up. That it wasn't how would we have reacted if A.J. Brown was traded to our team like we reacted 4 years ago?
I went nuts.
We would have went crazy. Their reaction was not their reaction. We'll tease it for later on, right? We'll do it coming up. But their reaction was, man, that's an overpay. Man, he's got bad knees. You don't pay top of the market for a guy that has been obviously an issue in Philadelphia, and he's got the bulky knees. I would have traded a first and a fifth from the Patriots standpoint, but when there's nobody else involved and you're bidding against yourself,
Yeah.
clearly Vrabel said, you go get him, and they went and they got him.
Yeah, and look, you have to get better as a team that makes the Super Bowl. I misspoke yesterday. I think I said Drake May was a rookie. That was a bad job by me. It's now his third season.
But it'll be his third year, but
Yeah.
it's the rookie contract.
Exactly. So that's when you have to swing big, no doubt. But also from the team perspective, you were a team that just represented your conference in the Super Bowl. Like, you can't sit on your hands and think you're going to do it again. No.
And the Patriots had a historically easy schedule. And you know what happens? Yesterday, I brought up Jaden Daniels. He was a rookie.
Correct.
The point was that he took the NFL by storm as a rookie. Drake May did it last year. He was right there. Was he the runner-up for the MVP?
Correct.
You come back with a much more difficult schedule, all right? And now you're facing better teams, and everybody now has the bullseye out for you. How are we going to beat Drake May? Look at their weapons. Oh, here's what we're going to do. They don't have a great running back. They don't have a great offensive line. They have a very good defense. You could very easily see them, if they didn't prioritize upgrading their talent, which they now have, 9 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins.
Yeah.
Not 14.
14-3 last year. Yeah, he had a great season, Drake May. 72% completion percentage, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. No doubt about it. And it fits the mold, right? You're getting a stud receiver who is one of the best in the game. No doubt about it. I'm not going to, take back my praise from A.J. Brown, what I was saying last week. He's a top 15 wide receiver. I didn't really hear too much about the knees. Now I'm this bulky word. I love this. I got to put this in my vocab.
Not Trent Bulky.
Not Trent Bulky. Yeah.
Man.
But the bulky knees, and then now he's getting them drained twice a week. I didn't know this, but he did miss a couple games last year. He's missed a couple games, obviously, as a wide receiver with the Eagles.
So the Rams, the word is the Rams looked at the medicals and said, we're out.
That's what Jeff McClain said.
That was kind of the last thing was they were maybe ready to do it, and then that was, no, we're not going to do it.
Very interesting stuff there. Look.
And the Patriots didn't say that. Why? Because Mike Vrabel has a relationship with AJ and says, I'm not worried about it. He's a pro. He takes care. AJ's not the guy that's missing treatment because he's out and about doing whatever. Dude's a pro.
Fair.
At least how he prepares and he handles himself.
He's also a fraud.
Know.
He's also a fraud. He's fair. Yeah, he's a pro, but he's flawed.
Right, so you're calling him a fraud.
Yes, I am.
Rob in Minnesota takes issue with you.
I understand.
And the bashing of AJ Brown. Rob, go ahead, buddy. What's up?
Hey, can you hear me good?
Loud and clear, Robbie. What up?
All right. Actually, I'm going to get on you about that for a minute. I'm going to put y'all to work real quick. I just noticed something. April 18th, 2024, AJ posted the Tom Brady picture. We went bananas about that. April 15th or whatever, like April 25th, I believe, same year, he gets a new contract. Do you think that was a shut-up money? Like a week? I'm serious. Or is this a coincidence? Timing of them posting that and then getting a new contract within 7 days.
Well, I mean, I would. Here's what I would say: that it could be, hey, we're going to make you happy. It could be how he restructures all these contracts. So for him to get cap room, he needs to be able to do that. And oftentimes, when they have a player that they know is going to be there, they can restructure it and then kick everything back into the future.
So you're saying this is a timing? It was just a timing thing. The 7 days of him posting that, and then 7 days getting a contract right after that.
It could have been both. It could have been where they were trying to make him happy with some more guaranteed money. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Now, come on, man. We was happy Travis Vogel was turning into something, bro, I mean, for real. AJ changed our life as fans. Let's be realistic, bro. Honestly, I've been listening to you, and you know I love you guys, but we can't bash the man. Yes, I'm happy he's gone. You know I was a pro AJ guy. I'm happy he's gone because one of you said something earlier. You couldn't continue with this year.
Nope.
This was going to be even worse. So you had to move. So I'm comfortable there. But I'm not comfortable with us trashing AJ. I worked at a job. I was the top salesperson at a dealership for 8 years. I just got unhappy. The team was good. The people were good. I just got unhappy.
Yep.
I took a little time off. I tried to get my head back in the game. I came back. It looked good for a minute. And then I wasn't happy there anymore. And I had to leave, So sometimes that just happens. But I don't think we should bash him. And my last thing is, I wanted to throw this joke at you, and say, the things were thrown off. AJ changed the season and everything. No, Jalen was a little off with his passes in the very beginning of the season. And then you guys even said that not AJ, that they say that he throws the ball willingly in practice. Like, he's airing it out. But when he gets in the game, he doesn't do that. And it feels like remember when Goose died and Maverick was holding on to the ball tag? He had the shot, but he was holding on, talking about, talk to me, Goose, talk to me, and he didn't take the shot. And then when what was it? Sundown approached him afterwards. It was like, bro, like, what's up? You had the shot, and I'll take the shot when I'm good at rest. That's what it feels like. It feels like he's done it. I take the shot when I'm good at rest.
Rob, you're an elite caller, brother. I appreciate you.
That was
every time
good.
You call.
And Rob, I promise you, to a point, I will get there. Right?
Yeah,
like
not today.
I'm not trying. Yeah, like I'm not trying to go down that path today. I'm mad. I'm angry. I have venom for A.J. Brown in this whole situation, and it starts and ends with everything that transpired last year. Last year was supposed to be a special season, and it was anything but. And if you want to believe everything that A.J. is putting out there, supposedly, and everything else that Tim McManus reports, it's all because of Jalen Hurts. That's it. Jalen Hurts.
Yucky.
He's the guy.
So
he's the reason.
So in 2024, when he was having the same issues, they won a Super Bowl. In 2025, when he was having the same issues, they didn't win the Super Bowl. Is that because of A.J. Brown, or is that because the offensive line was terrible and injured, and Saquon Barkley wasn't the same player with the offensive line being like that?
I think A.J. Brown could have been a better player last year.
Of course. No, I'm not telling you that A.J. doesn't deserve blame, because we all saw it. We all have eyes. We all saw it. He was asking for trades during the season. That's not good. Clearly, it was an issue. I know you don't want to hear this, Sean. His teammates didn't consider it an issue. Like, his teammates. If we start getting stories that AJ was this and AJ was that, do I think there's going to be something? Is Tim McManus or Jeremy Fowler, and we'll talk to Jeremy coming up at 11 o'clock, is there going to be people that come out and say that AJ's a bad teammate? I think you're going to get people that say it was time to move on from AJ. I don't know if you're going to get people that come out and say, no, AJ was a problem. Everybody that I've talked to, internally, everybody that I know around the Eagles organization, every reporter that I've talked to, pretty much everybody off the record, everybody pretty much says the same thing. AJ's beloved. Everybody loves AJ. And Jalen, I don't even want to make this about Jalen. Everybody loves AJ. So we'll see. But, I mean, there's no negativity towards AJ leaving.
No, and then what I would do is I would take whoever, the player, name me the player that you say is on record with Tim, and I would say, okay, well, I'm going to give you three scenarios. One, he puts the organization into a corner, right? This is just not even A.J. Brown, but this is a teammate. Tells the organization, puts him in a corner that I want out. I want to be traded. Is that a good teammate? Creates speculation week in, week out. You win, it doesn't matter. Is that a good teammate? And, oh, by the way, how about this? The fact that you, inside the locker room, have to answer these questions.
So we'll talk about that, because AJ did join Maria Taylor in her on her podcast, and he talked about the bad teammate stuff. Also talked about Jalen Hurts. We have that for you. We have some phone calls. We have some text messages. We have voice memos. And we have Jeremy Fowler. I want to ask Jeremy Fowler, is he doing a story here with Tim McManus? Is he hearing bad things about AJ? Give us a little insight. He's coming up at 11 o'clock. Your call's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Hall of Fame sports writer
John Marks, Sean Brace, very angry. Sean Brace, irritated.
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah, fired up, frustrated, mad. Just revisiting what should have been. And I know that that's probably a little bit over the top, but man, from the beginning, it was just so frustrating because you were like, dude, you're the Super Bowl champions. Act like it. Have a little fun. Everybody was so tight.
Yeah, that's true.
And they opened up 4-0. And it was like, what is going on? The vibes were just off.
Did A.J. Brown, because when you have a negative person and they will, like, people, it creates division. So the people that may not have been negative now are aligning with the person that's negative because maybe they're more of a powerful personality, or they're like, yeah, he's right. Because if you think about it, that Devontae Smith touchdown where he came back to the huddle and he just throw the bleeping ball. Yeah, that was directed towards Jalen. See, like, what I would say is that I don't think A.J. was alone in the feelings towards the offense.
Understood.
Right? Did he handle it perfectly? So let's talk about it. We have A.J. Brown from the Maria Taylor podcast. I didn't even know it was happening. You were just listening to it. And you're like, oh, she has A.J. coming on. I know you're a frequent listener to it. What's it called?
7 p.m. in Brooklyn. It's a Carmelo Anthony production.
Yeah, it's Carmelo's.
Right? Oh, how did I forget that? All right. Well, Ray, do we have the teammate one?
Well, you don't watch that every week?
I mean,
7 p.m. in Brooklyn. How are you going to miss that?
Ray, I have so many podcasts that I listen to. I don't have time for all of them.
Yeah, he was too busy binging Arenas and all his buddies.
Yeah, Arenas. I've been doing some golf podcast with
Swinging and Ding It?
Swinging and Ding. It's one of my go-tos.
That's a great golf podcast.
The Gary Player podcast.
It's a great one, too.
Where he drools into the microphone.
He's 90.
Anyway. So, do we have the teammate one? Here's A.J. Brown talking about the teammate stuff.
Not every moment I can say I handled it the best way, especially the ones was on social media like that. That was wrong, and me taking accountability for that. But with my teammates, I feel like I handled the things correctly. We had tough conversations. We had face-to-face conversations, and we talked and we pushed each other, and we didn't really care who was uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And I feel like as a leader, sometimes, it can be frowned upon from the media. But, there's always that one guy in that locker room who pushes guys and hold people accountable. And that was me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't mind being viewed as whatever picture was painting me out to be, because I know, like, my teammates know, like, I had their back.
Yeah, I saw very few people saying anything negative about AJ.
There's so many things.
All right, well, go ahead.
Did you hear? Well, first, sorry, but the production. Did you not hear the heartbeat?
Yeah, I heard it right away.
Because that was what is going on with the microphone sound?
Well, I mean, they must have had an intern's little brother do this, not even an intern.
So I assume that was Maria Taylor's heartbeat that we were listening to.
I think it's
AJ.
his.
It's AJ. Because where they mic'd him. So inside baseball, they mic'd him underneath his shirt, but not to where, like when you put a microphone on somebody's shirt, it's supposed to be like at the top of it on the lapel or somewhere where it's not being muffled underneath the shirt.
Crazy concept here. You want the microphone close to the mouth where the words are coming out of.
They put it underneath the shirt by his heart, so that's why you're hearing the heart. Can you imagine getting this interview? This is a big interview, and the production value sucks as much as it does. Anyway.
So he apologized about the cryptic Instagram posts and social media posts and the look at me. And, look, that's great to hear. I'm glad he's taking accountability.
But he did after it happened, too. He answered questions from the reporters and said that he gets emotional. He didn't shy away from it. He acknowledged it back then, and he apologized for it then.
He was not 100% honest and truthful, though. He never spoke his mind truly. He was very cryptic, even when he apologized.
So you want him to come out and say Jalen Hurts blows, and that's why I'm not happy?
No, but I do want him to be.
Can you find it? Can you find A.J. Brown, Nate back there? Can you find A.J. Brown when it was after one of the social media posts, and he was at the lockers, probably like a Wednesday, and he addressed it. And I didn't think he was going to address it, and he did.
If you are a team guy, and you look over and you see Jalen, that's your guy. I mean, there's so much fraudulence around A.J. Brown. The fact that you would name, and allow me for 2 seconds on this, you would name somebody your godfather to your kid and then have an issue with him because what? He's not getting you to football the right way?
Well, he says there's no issue.
Yeah. All right.
Can we hear AJ?
What is it? What is it? Because all along it's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. But now there's no issue with the quarterback?
And he wasn't at the wedding as you did.
But I mean, the fact that you would name somebody your godfather and it's like, you know what? See ya.
AJ said no problem with Jalen. Here it is.
How would you describe your relationship right now?
Not as close as we once were. And I believe that's fine. It's like there's no bad blood. There's actually still a lot of love. I love him. I love him to death. I want him to succeed and accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish. I didn't truly understand why our friendship became the public of the center of everybody's attention when it came to football because, looking back on it, we haven't been as close as we were a couple of years now, but that didn't stop anything.
Mm-hmm.
We still competed, we still pushed each other, we still led the team. So it was just kind of strange, people just got so fixated on the relationship and wanted to talk about maybe from the history of this place, but that wasn't what this was. And I'm gonna say it to you, I say it on camera, I got nothing but love for him. I want him to do well and accomplish everything that his heart desires. So
I think at the end of the day, people always just want to know why, and there's an understanding that people grow apart. What is the best way that you can put a description so people can understand?
Good follow-up.
Yeah, nothing happened. Nothing happened. People just grow apart. Nothing happened between me and him or our families, wives, anything. Nothing like that ever happened. But life happens. And you just look up sometimes and you find yourself drifting away. And that's fine. And I think both parties accepted that.
I think it sounds like AJ got hot and heavy on Jalen before he really knew him. Right? You meet the girl, you're like, oh my God, I love this girl. She's the best thing ever. Like you said, be the godfather to my daughter. Like all of a sudden you get engaged within 6 months, and then 6 months later you're like, oh my God, I hate this girl. Doesn't it sound like that's what it is with AJ? He gets hot and heavy early.
I think you might be onto something there.
Well, by the way, him saying it's strange that people were like, come on. Yeah, it's real strange. We'll replay that after Jeremy Fowler. It's real. Yeah, I agree with him. I can't understand how anybody thought it was strange. All right, Jeremy Fowler. I need to know from Jeremy if there's something coming up. When he pokes around and he snips around, are there teammates and other people in the Eagles organization that are saying bad things about A.J. Brown? His thoughts on the compensation and more. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Bye Brown. I'm Ray Dunn for this Fanatic Sports Update that's brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP. Visit mad.org. A.J. Brown was finally dealt to the New England Patriots for a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. Ends months of speculation on his future in Philadelphia. He is now a New England Patriot, and he went on Retailer's podcast last night following the trade, talked about his relationship with Jalen Hurts.
Not as close as we once were. I believe that's fine. It's like there's no bad blood. There's actually still a lot of love. I love him. I love him to death. I want him to succeed and accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish.
We're going to talk to Jeremy Fowler and James Palmer throughout the show today. Fowler comes up next at 11. James Palmer talks to us at 1 o'clock. Elsewhere in the NFL yesterday, Myles Garrett was dealt from the Browns to the Rams for Jared Verse and a couple of draft picks. So Myles Garrett now in the NFC. Phillies begin a 3-game set with the Padres tonight. Aaron Nola versus Randy Vasquez, the matchup on the mound. Nick Castellanos will make his return to Philly. This update is also brought to you by Firebird's Wood-Fired Grill. Stand up to childhood cancer June 5th through the 7th. Alex Scott was a 4-year-old cancer patient who decided to help and find a cure for kids' cancer by hosting a lemonade stand from Firebird's Wood-Fired Grill June 5th through 7th to support Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Well, it is over, Sean Brace.
Hey.
We waited months. That June 1st. Are we ever going to forget about June 1st? June 1st now is a date that it will be ingrained in our brain forever.
That's funny. Yeah, I graduated high school on June 6th. That date's always in the back of my mind. I walked on June 6th. June 1, A.J. Brown.
And Myles Garrett, by the way.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
How mad is A.J. that Myles Garrett stole the shine just a little bit?
Well, to discuss, and I feel like Jeremy Fowler, the senior NFL reporter and insider for ESPN, he's been along for the journey with us as this has been going on for a very long time. Jeremy, are you relieved that the trade finally happened?
It was a journey, I kind of wanted to keep going, actually. It's funny enough because I feel like the Patriots did have a little leverage if they wanted to just get crazy and wait and piss off Howie. Like, I feel like they could have done that. And maybe like they could maneuver and get a little more, get a pick back or something. But it was pretty clear that they had worked this out and just needed to button it up and cross T's and dot I's over the last week.
Yeah, so...
but yeah, I wanted more.
Yeah, but you know what? So I was with you. My initial reaction was a little bit of a surprise that it was as clean and neat as it was. They got a first, which he wanted. They got a fifth, which it's not the third that the Broncos gave up for Waddle, but it's close because they had the pick swap with the fourth. I was with you. If I'm Elliott Wolf and the Patriots, I'm saying, hey, listen, Howie, we're not giving you anything. We're not giving you just a first. You're going to have to give us something back in return. So I was mildly surprised that it was as clean and neat of a trade as it was.
Yeah. Well, the mechanics of this are interesting, and semantics are part of it, right? Like I was told during the week that, hey, the Patriots aren't overly crazy about having to give up a first-round pick. They kind of knew it was the cost of doing business, but they still had to work through the terms. But by all intents and purposes, before the draft, both teams pretty much knew what they had to do to get it done. And it was sort of like wink, wink, accepted. Maybe not agreed to in terms. There's nothing signed, nothing firm, but there were parameters at that point. Like everybody felt comfortable waiting till June to get this done. So it sort of depends on how you view it, but those are the mechanics of these trades. Sometimes it's fluid, but you sort of know what it takes. And a lot of these deals can really be done in 5 minutes sometimes. So it's all depends on how you view it, through what prism.
Jeremy, everything you're hearing from the Eagles, is there a sense of relief that it's finally over? Because this just wasn't the trade thing. There's been, AJ's been unhappy at least for a couple seasons here. Are they relieved just to kind of do it and move on?
I would say so. But I don't know that it's necessarily relief on June 1st or today. I think it was understood that he wasn't around the building. He wasn't at OTAs. I think he showed up to the building at one point. But it really was out of sight, out of mind. Now, I think there's relief in the sense that, okay, for some reason back in March or April, they had trouble getting a trade. And then, he makes it really awkward and pushes the envelope further, and it becomes even more of a headache. Like, was it going to go nuclear at some point if he stayed on the roster? I think there's the relief that that's not going to happen. And I do think he was a lot to manage, and I think there's relief that they don't have to manage it anymore.
Right. So I know you and Tim McManus had a piece earlier in the offseason, and you went in open-ended being like, all right, what's going on with the Eagles? And everything that you heard really was more about Jalen Hurts than anything else. I don't know if you've been since doing some reporting. You or Tim have since been doing some reporting. Because everything you hear about AJ is his teammates love him. The front office loves him. The coaching staff loves him. Everybody loves him, but yet he's unhappy, and no one wants to really say anything bad about him. Are we going to get something that comes out that kind of gives the other side that maybe AJ was a problem or was a distraction? What are you hearing about that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, when we did that piece, yes, a lot of our reporting directed us toward Jalen, and part of that was because some were shooting bail for AJ, saying, well, he's frustrated because of this, this, and this. So teammates sort of understand. But that doesn't excuse the poutiness, the passive aggressiveness. Like, it was kind of ridiculous last year. So I think people recognize that as well. And so both can be true, Jalen can be a reason why the offense was calcified last year, but then also A.J. Brown played his role in it and played it loudly. That's why I've talked about this a few times, but I think Devontae Smith has a chance to really shine here because he's really talented and has had to be a number 2. I think he has the ability to be a number 1. And he is a little different from what I understand. He's more vocal, like, hey, if I have an issue with Jalen, I'm going to bring him to the side and talk to him, which is probably the best way to do this, where I think the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts dynamic was sort of at a distance, at least this last year, that there was probably a gulf in communication. And so if there is any sort of resentment or feelings, it doesn't get expressed in a positive way. So I think it could be a benefit for the Eagles in that way. If we're talking locker room chemistry and culture, they're not as talented today as they were yesterday at that position, pound for pound, at least when you lose a guy like A.J. Brown, but they can potentially turn this into a net positive.
Love the insight, Jeremy. A lot to manage. I know that we're going to be clipping a few of those quotes from you, but I know Chris Long, former Eagle and former Patriot, had a thought on this yesterday, and he said, the fact that A.J. Brown went for as less as he did, it's because of how he played in crunch time last year, struggled, and had a bad game against the Niners in that playoff game, and how he acted leaving a Super Bowl team. So I guess my question to you would be, if A.J. Brown was a good teammate, if he was viewed as like, hey, man, this is just the end of the road for him here and none of the other stuff is following him, what type of package would he get? Would Howie Roseman get from whatever team out there? Is there more draft picks coming his way? Was it just as simple as the first-round pick or because of the bulky knees, the 29-year-old? Is there anything that we're missing when it comes to that deal?
So you're saying if there weren't any concerns about some of the drama over the last year, would they get more?
Correct.
Is that what you're asking? Potentially. I mean, I did ask another team about why they didn't get involved with A.J. Brown, and I was told knee, character, picks. So the knee issue, the character, the picks, those are 3 different things. The picks being, like, do you want to give up a first-round pick and more? And I think originally one team told me they thought the Eagles wanted a first and a second-round pick, which would have been a lot. That was back in March, so maybe that was just a starting point or how these teams negotiate, but I don't think anybody was doing that. I mean, it's interesting, right? Because he's still a top 10 receiver. Like, I'm doing my top 10 receiver rankings right now, actually. I do a summer project every year ranking the top 10 players, but I do it through, like, scouts and coaches and executives. A.J. Brown's top 10 still. Now he's slipped a little bit. I think there's an acknowledgement that maybe he's a half-step decline, a little bit. He's 29, but he's still a dude. He's still that rare kind of player where you have to roll coverage. You have to roll safety over to where he is, and he can catch the 50-50 ball. And just there aren't many people on the planet that can do that still. So because of that, I think enough interest was always going to be there, but I still haven't found another known suitor other than the Rams in March. We know the Rams inquired in March. Other than that, I don't sense the Rams are heavily involved in recent weeks unless there were conversations I'm not sure about. I don't think the Chiefs were involved. I haven't been able to find another team. That to me is interesting. Now maybe teams thought, okay, well, Mike Vrabel and A.J. Brown have a great relationship. That's where he's probably going to want to go anyways, so why mess with it, But there wasn't a huge market for him in this stage, and maybe that's because of a litany of factors, but he's still a top guy. I thought there should have been multiple teams at the end of the day. It's semantics too, though. It's like Myles Garrett. I don't think a ton of teams are in on Myles Garrett because what it's going to take to get him is a lot, and you don't have a Jared Verse. Like, there are only so many teams that have a young, ascending top 10 type pass rusher that Cleveland needed in return.
And we're talking to Jeremy Fowler. Everything we're hearing about that trade is the Eagles were in on Myles Garrett, and that had followed Howie and the Eagles for a while now. Did you hear that the Eagles were interested? And the names I read yesterday were Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, and then the bunch of draft picks that they traded. Are you hearing the Eagles were interested in Myles Garrett?
Well, I don't have anything fast and firm on that right now. No, it wouldn't surprise me. Certainly I do think the Eagles like to check on everything and make a run at things like that. I just haven't heard anything hard and fast. I did check with somebody over there, and they didn't think the Eagles got heavily involved. So I don't know at the moment. I don't sense that they were like prime contenders at the finish line type of thing.
Right.
At least right now.
So wrap up the A.J. Brown trade. Good trade for the Eagles, good trade for the Patriots. Is this one of these instances where both teams did well and we move on and see how it goes?
I think it can be perceived as a win-win. If you're New England, like, you had to do this in the sense that you needed a guy like this, and it's somebody Mike Vrabel's familiar with. This is somebody Mike Vrabel wanted for a long time, and it just made sense for them. Even though you're probably giving up a little more than you'd like, it's not a gargantuan amount as far as a draft haul. You didn't have to give up a first and a third-round pick, for example. And then Philly, look, for a 29-year-old that everybody in the league knew you had to move on from, essentially. It just had gotten to that sort of boiling point. It would have been really tough to keep him. That lost Howie Roseman a little leverage, and because of that, the fact that he got a first and a fifth, I think, is pretty impressive. So Philly, yet again, wins a trade on paper, you could say.
One more on the Patriots. Is this have Mike Vrabel written all over it? Is this something the Patriots do without Vrabel, just taking them to the Super Bowl, and Vrabel says, hey, get me my guy?
That's a good question. I think they wanted to upgrade their receiver position regardless, but I do think Brown and Vrabel is a unique relationship. I think they were close when he was in Tennessee, and A.J. Brown's always appreciated that. And, you try to, when you're working these trades, or at least a lot of teams try to work with the player and have everybody feel like they won in the situation. So, if you were going to send A.J. Brown to Siberia, he probably wasn't going to like that, but you try to send him to somewhere that's at least in the vicinity of his wish list. I'm sure going to the Chiefs or one of the other Rams or one of these other teams would have been acceptable to Brown because you're getting good quarterback, Super Bowl pedigree, all that stuff. But it really does seem like New England was very high on his list, and so all parties won in that way. But I do think New England would have addressed the position regardless.
Yeah, I agree. Jeremy Fowler, we really appreciate you, man. You've been coming on a lot through this whole process, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. But we appreciate you.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy. There he is, Jeremy Fowler.
I had to. What, Ray? Are you going to say what? I had to chuckle when he said, Vrabel really wanted something and he got it, and he had to give up a little bit more. And all my mind was like, Rossini, he's giving up his family.
Oh my God!
Yeah, just
you can't honestly. When you bring Vrabel into it, then I immediately go to Rossini too, because Rossini was doing his bidding for him.
Correct.
I was going to say that I really need to get to Nashville at some point because Mike Vrabel found the two loves of his life during his time in Tennessee. How about that?
Yeah, baby.
Ray's rolling with the lines today. Look at you.
I love it.
Nice one.
We'll give him a little horn or organ on the way up.
Could you imagine Ray going to Nashville? Because Ray, I'm telling you, I don't know how much time you spent down south. They're different down there.
So I've heard.
The women are different.
Yeah, but Nashville's a party house.
Yeah, I agree.
So
but it's not all of it's a party. It's not all party town.
Well, Broadway.
Yeah, but still, you get the Southern girls. Yeah, but you get the Southern girls. They still you don't have to be from Nashville to be out in Nashville.
Yeah, but he's not. That's Ray.
Ray meets somebody from Knoxville that came in for the weekend. And falls in love. Those Southern belles treat their men. It's going to be a lot better than these women up here. Did I say that out loud?
Oh, wow.
How about
we'll put that one out there.
I've met one girl from Nashville. I'm very intrigued to go see the city.
I bet.
Yeah, so I went there before it became what it is now. So it's gotten built up. Anyway,
great stuff with Fowler. You're right. He has been all over, and he's been joining us throughout the course. So that's great stuff.
And what I love about him is he's not just going to throw stuff out there. Because when I asked him, he said, I really haven't heard that. That's not something that I've heard.
Yep.
And again, back on the A.J. Brown stuff. Between him and Tim, and Timmy's joining afternoon Bill and Ricky today.
Great.
No negative things about A.J. Brown. No negative comments. It's like they understand. See, I think AJ is a unique person and personality, and everybody says AJ's a different dude, and that's just the way he is. And his unhappiness, they understand it. Would they have acted the same way? What did Jeremy say during the interview? The social media stuff. That's ridiculous.
Outing.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Let's face it, it's ridiculous. That's the way a guy like AJ Brown handles it. T.O. does sit-ups in the driveway. Other players do other things, right? The wide receiver position's the wide receiver position. I just think AJ is a different cat, and those guys recognize it. Here's the other thing. AJ clearly has relationships with guys in the locker room, real relationships. I don't think Jalen has that. I think Jalen is very much a aloof. he's the quarterback. Maybe he's got a couple things to say or whatever, but does he really have these relationships where guys talk to him? It just doesn't seem that he does.
No, I would probably sit there and say, that's kind of what the vibe I was getting all along, especially from Tim McManus's piece, right? And Jeremy, as you pointed out. Most guys can't act like A.J. Brown because they're not top 10 at their position, right? When you're that skilled, you can act out in a certain way. It's about you. Like, I'm not here to deny how great A.J. Brown is, but it is interesting to hear guys like Jeremy Fowler say, you know what? He's a lot to manage. His words, not mine. There's character issues. His word, not mine. I get it. He's liked. John, as I'm yelling about him right now, I like A.J. Brown. Everything that went through, like, A.J. Brown isn't a dude that's out there tearing it up on the city, a bad guy. Like, okay, he posted dumb stuff on social media, but at the end of the day, he was an awesome wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they had a lot of success with him. But, man, I want to say, I guess, miss me on, like, the good stuff. Because point blank, he had character issues. He pouted, as Jeremy just said, and he's no longer here. Right? Like, I could revisit it down the road.
But across the NFL, the character issues are a real thing. Whether or not it's a true character issue, like he's a bad guy, I don't think anybody ever said he's a bad guy. But if you're a team, you have to look and be like, what's going to prevent him from doing that here? After winning a Super Bowl, he said on social media, more or less, he wasn't satisfied and he wasn't happy. That's him.
Should they have traded him then?
No,
would have got more return?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's completely Monday morning quarterback, vision.
I'm really surprised without anybody else involved they get a first and a fifth. I am shocked.
Yeah, what else could you have gotten if you traded him after the Super Bowl? Like, what else are we talking about?
Maybe you get a first and a third or a first and a second.
All right.
I mean, is really two firsts?
Those shows were saying that yesterday. Nick Wright, a matter of fact. First things first was like, that's why they should have traded him.
That's why I don't watch those shows. Cliff in Arizona. Cliff, what do you got? What's your reaction?
My reaction is that he could be a good person, but you have situations where he wanted opportunities. They gave him opportunities. He didn't make the plays, whether he was emotionally distraught or not, and that's why he didn't make the plays. Also, this bromance during the year with Vrabel, him under contract, he just blew a great opportunity for back-to-back championships, and I think that's why nobody else wanted in on him. I will say, with New England having the cream puff schedule that they will not have this year, I wonder when they're not going to make the playoffs and they struggle, how happy he's going to be then.
He's not. To your point, he's not. I'm more plugged in up with the Patriots in Boston than I am with a lot of other cities. I still don't know. Like, would I be surprised if the Patriots finish with 9 or 10 wins next year? No, I wouldn't. That's the NFL. Really, I don't know how talented they are outside of that. I don't know. Like, that could happen. They also could win 12 games again because the quarterback's really good and A.J. Brown elevates the offense. So, I don't – this one, I don't care. New England can do whatever they want to do. What are you laughing about there?
I'm just saying, week 1, Seahawks. He doesn't get the ball enough. Drake May throws a couple interceptions, looks as bad as he did against the Seahawks the last time.
Or he has 170 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He could. It's a good defense.
But Drake May, to your point – just because you were the toast of the NFL last year doesn't mean you're going to be the toast of the NFL this year.
I'm just saying.
All right. Sounds like he's rooting for
Janky
it.
Rondo.
Hey, real quick on this.
Hop on the stream.
What was this AO tweet or AO?
Always open.
Cheering? What, like, was this a first down thing? I don't know. Like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
How did I miss this? Apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, AJ wanted Eagles fans to say AO after what, a grab?
I think so. I think it was after a catch, big catch.
All right.
We know it after he leaves? I've never heard it.
I never heard this during the season either, but, diehard Eagles fans are. They never miss anything. But apparently people were connecting the dots that he was a fan of Coop. So he wanted something where you make a catch, first down, you go, AO!
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Always open, man. He's always open.
That's not going to work. It's not easy. We're not, we're
Phils.
Yeah.
Phils.
Yeah, we need very easy things to do. EAG, I mean, honestly, it used to be a part of my last show where we had so many people that couldn't say EAGLES Eagles and mess it up. It was every Friday at the end of the show, we just added that Mayor couldn't do the Eagles.
I mean, how did she spell it? It was, I don't even know.
ELGSES.
Yeah, we need very basic things. Coop's easy to do. But then then people are tricked and like, they're booing Cooper. Like, idiot. Who was it that said that? What dummy on TNT said that? Or what? It was Prime. It was one of the other ones. It wasn't.
It was the NHL game, wasn't it? Wasn't it the Fly?
It was the NHL game. And you have to excuse them because you know the hockey people aren't paying attention to that
from
stuff.
from Canada.
That's what I'm talking about. 610-632-0975. Your reaction. A.J. Brown was traded. What's your reaction to it? Sean's very angry. Ish cried. He's going to join us coming up next. Also, how did Boston react to the news? I know how we would have reacted here because we did it. I would have been ecstatic. Not as happy. We'll play it for you from our sister station up in Boston. Coming up next. Middays at Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A.J. Brown is not an Eagle. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update all off season. Every time Howie Roseman was asked, he told us A.J. Brown's an Eagle. That no longer true. A.J. Brown traded to the Patriots for a 2028 first, a 2027 fifth. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN just joined us, talked about the process of putting this trade together.
By all intents and purposes, before the draft, both teams pretty much knew what they had to do to get it done. And it was sort of like wink, wink, accepted. Maybe not agreed to in terms. There's nothing firm, but there were parameters at that point. Like everybody felt comfortable waiting until June to get this done.
And it got done in June. You can listen to our whole conversation with Jeremy Fowler on our website. You can watch it on YouTube or on the Fanatic app. James Palmer will join us coming up at 1 o'clock. Not the only big trade on June 1st in the NFL. Myles Garrett to the Rams from the Browns. The Browns getting Jared versus some picks back in that deal. Phillies begin a 3-game set with the Padres tonight. Aaron Nola on the mound. Randy Vasquez on the mound for San Diego. Nick Castellanos making his return to Philly in this series. This update is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, builds better athletes, better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Marks, Sean Brace, Ray Dunn. Not to be confused with Ryan Dunn, who was on the late Ryan Dunn, who was on Jackass.
Jackass, yeah.
He's Ray.
Or my Uncle Ryan Dunn.
Was your Uncle Ryan Dunn the one that shoved the Matchbox car up his butt?
A different one.
Oh.
Different Ryan.
I mean, he could have in his life, and I don't know about it, but that doesn't sound like something in his character.
Not likely. All right, so I'm just talking to Bill Calarulo. Coming up at 2 o'clock, A.J. Brown's supposed to speak in New England. I mean, think about how clean and neat this trade has been. He was, let me record a podcast. I'm going to be in New England tomorrow. I'm going to talk to the media at 2 o'clock. Clean and neat.
Mm-hmm.
Last Friday, Sean, we were led to believe that this may not happen for months. Not the case. Remember when they were like, remember when those phony insiders were like, well, the Jaguars are not involved. And what did the Jaguars aren't involved in squat. It's just crap. They're being used, or they're just making stuff up, or they're just saying, like, Lock and Four at the time was like, well, like maybe the Jaguars get involved, and then somebody takes that and runs with it like it's an actual report, and
Correct.
It wasn't.
No,
he wasn't even trying to pretend it was a report. He was just talking.
Lock and Four is a dude used to do Sports Star Radio in Baltimore, trying to find some new avenue.
Well, he was the CBS insider on CBS Today.
Yeah, he was able to
big time.
Yeah, he was able to make a nice path for him, but he's no longer on that level, and you could just sniff through it, right? Like, all in all, Joe Banner, I tend to go towards him. Who's the other guy from Villanova? Used to be the general manager for the Packers, Andrew
Brandt.
He's another one I look to. Guys that have been in the office arena, in the business, right? Joe Banner, what did he tell you? That deal's been done. It's been done.
And he was right.
And he was right.
He was right.
Now, Andrew Brandt said.
Andrew Brandt.
Sorry, Andrew Brandt. And I should know that.
It's okay. You should know it.
He's got a new book out, matter of fact. He does. But he said, he had a tweet yesterday, was like, man, there's definitely something else going on. Because you don't get rid of a player like that without putting up a fight. And he thinks that this might have been a little bit more uglier behind the scenes.
Well, I think the fight was last offseason. Right? This isn't new. The year they won the Super Bowl, he was mad. 2023 was mad. This isn't new.
So last offseason this year?
Last offseason going in after the Super Bowl, ironically.
Yeah.
I think it was we have a new offensive coordinator. Things are going to be different. Because T.O. yesterday told us that early on the chemistry wasn't there with Jalen Hurts. The offense wasn't there. The passing offense wasn't there. And that's where the frustration came from. And then that's when he was, according to the reporting, that's when he was asking to be traded after week 3, after week 4. He was pissed. He was told in the offseason that it's going to be different. And then he's like, this isn't different. This sucks. So, yeah, of course there was more going on. This isn't new. This didn't happen last year.
No, you're right about that. The issue is now that it's clear and it's in front of our face and it's happened, that's the part that's irking me, and I revisit. And it's like, wait a minute. See, now you're telling me after the Super Bowl, and you're right? Like, it's not something that I didn't know. I knew. After the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl. You win a championship in this city. And yet that offseason, you want out? You're not happy with what took place? You were one of the greatest teams to ever take the field in NFL history. Offense, defense, one of the best ever, and you weren't happy.
Because the passing offense wasn't
What's
great.
that say about him?
It says a lot about him. You're right, it does. All right, what does it say about Boston when this trade happens? All right, now, for context, the afternoon show up in Boston, Felger and Maserati, is not a bubbly, positive show. Quite to the contrary, very successful, but they're straight. They're straight shooters. All right, so they've been talking about this as long as we've been talking about this, right? And I remember listening to them, and they were saying there's no way you should give up a first-round draft pick for A.J. Brown based on everything that we've talked about for months. There's no leverage. There's no other teams involved. He's got a bad knee, blah, 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 blah. So they give up a first and a fifth. Here is, and you're going to hear Michael Felger and then a little bit of Jim Murray, I think, talking about it. Here's their reaction. The trade goes down. Here's their reaction.
I think it's an overpay. I'm not going to criticize them for it. I mean, I want them to think big and get better and all that. Their heart's in the right place. I'm just telling you, I think it's an overpay. They're the only one willing to pay it. And there's way more risk with this player than you've been led to believe or we've all just forgotten about. Because the thing's been on the table for so long. He got a bad knee, and he just quit on one of the best teams in the league. And I think that's an important thing. I mean, there's a lot of examples, certainly at that position, where players, go stale somewhere, receivers go stale somewhere, go to a new location, get a change of scenery, and turn it around. Like that happens all the time. Or a player acts like a jerk one place and then shows up somewhere else, gets in a winning environment, and is a different guy, a better guy. That happens all the time, too. The ones you have to really be concerned about are the ones that quit on the winning teams. Plenty of examples of guys, again, becoming malcontents in a loser situation. It brings out the worst in them. They just want to win. They're not surrounded by winning players or a winning organization, and so they grow frustrated and they act out. You bring them into a winning organization, and they're a totally different guy. I got that. Happens all the time. What's A.J. Brown's excuse? He was there 4 years. They made the playoffs 4 years. He made 2 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls, won a championship. And he was miserable. Why? That would concern the hell out of me.
Yep. There you go. I mean, so that's their standpoint, which is, why was he unhappy? He's got a bad knee. They gave up a first and a fifth. And, like, I listened to the whole, it was like a 45 minutes after, because it happened, 4:15-ish, 4:10-ish, pretty much right after 4 o'clock. And I listened to that hour, and they kept going back to, it's an overpay. I mean, is it an overpay? I'm surprised that the Eagles got a first and a fifth. But, yeah, if I'm New England, I'd be concerned with A.J. Brown, the knee, the fact that he's 29, the fact that he's making a lot of money. And you didn't get any discount on that. You paid almost as much for Jalen Waddle as the Broncos did.
Yeah, I would say more so than anything that I felt like the leverage was more in favor of the New England Patriots. So, yeah, that's what comes back to me more than anything. It's like, okay, you overpay. I'm okay with...
Not a huge overpay.
Correct. I'm okay with overpaying, like you said, to a point, to get a guy of this caliber that's going to help you. Drake May throws a beautiful deep ball. What's A.J. Brown's strength?
50-50.
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. He wanted to play with Vrabel. The head coach that you just brought in, you fired the previous coach after one season, get you to a Super Bowl. This is his guy? Absolutely. I'm okay with the overpay. But the issue is you better have success this upcoming season, because in 2 years, he's going to be reading the books on the sideline. Drake May, all of a sudden, is going to be the big problem. Like, there's just so much that comes with this fraud. I'm so glad he's out of here.
You know what the leverage ended up being? Mike Vrabel wanted the player.
That's it.
And think about it. So they have a GM, Elliott Wolf, who everybody believes answers to Mike Vrabel, and like he's really wanted some power. So what do? If you're Elliott Wolf, you want to play hardball and lose the player? Or you want to get the player that the guy could have – Mike Vrabel could get him fired. We've seen it. We see it all the time in the NFL. If the coach has the power and
well, maybe not now.
Well, like
it all comes back to Rossini.
Like, look at John Harbaugh and Joe.
Right.
Joe, is it Joe Shane?
Shane, yeah, got him a new gig.
Joe Shane is the GM that's failed up there, but guess who he's working for now? The head coach, John Harbaugh,
and they re-signed him.
And guess what? He's playing ball with John Harbaugh. There's no. I'm going to fight power for you. He sees the writing on the wall, and he's smart.
Yes.
What do you need from me, Coach? I gotcha.
Yep.
Elliott Wolf's doing the same thing up in New England. So that's the leverage. The coach wanted the player.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right about that. There's no denying that, and Jeremy backed it up as well. I totally agree with when you were on that point earlier today. So, look, there's going to be plenty to discuss. I see, crossing broad, Kevin waxing poetic about nothing but gratitude, and I love Kevin, but that's not today. I'm sorry, that's not today. I'm not in the
we didn't even play any songs,
I'm not in the feel-good moment right now for A.J. Brown.
What are we doing? We were waiting for songs. We got no songs.
This is not an end of the road day.
Thank you.
Well, what is it?
No, might be a bye day.
Oh, no. I do not. I mean, you play it in there. You can do whatever you want.
I'm Team Ray on that one.
Okay. All right. Coming back. Bye by NSYNC.
Get the hell out of
Ray.
here.
Ish, you're coming up next. 610-632-0975. We have voice memos, and we'll play again what A.J. Brown said, that level of accountability that he said would happen. He talked to Maria Taylor. He discussed all the social media stuff. What did he say back in October when it was actually going down? We have that for you coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. my clock in my head. I was back there talking to Bill and Dylan. What's up?
Like a deer without its head.
Speaking of a deer, in my backyard right now is a baby deer underneath my swing set.
Little buck? Well, it's a baby. So.
Well, I don't think so.
No antlers yet.
There you go.
Oh, very nice.
Separated. They're doing a bunch of construction in my neighborhood. It's like they're tearing up the roads, and it displaced a lot of the deer. I guess
Bambi.
that's my mom's telling me.
Oh,
Anyway.
very nice.
All right. So, what do you got, Sean?
Oh, 11 o'clock hour right here, Middays with Marks, brought to you by DraftKings. Make sure you stay tuned because we'll talk about more games featuring all the odds from DraftKings. But real quick, if you would not mind, John, I'm feeling a little horny tonight, Ray. Game 1. Stanley Cup Finals. Are you cupped up?
I think Carolina wins in 5.
I like where your mind's at. I like Carolina Game 1.
For sure.
Yeah, Moneyline minus 155. DraftKings Sportsbook. Use it. Download the app. Let them know you're listening to me right here on Middays with Marks.
That is my pick. And then I'll give tomorrow night is the start of the NBA Finals.
Oh, man.
It's going to be a good one.
As T.O. would say, get your damn popcorn ready. I know we got it.
You did say that.
We'll get it up there. Yeah, Vegas is plus 130, minus 155 for Carolina. Vegas is playing really great hockey. I believe in torts, all that good stuff. But
Carolina's on a different level, brother. There you go. They are. They lost that first one to Montreal, and everybody was like, oh, Carolina. And then they mopped them up the next 4 games.
Yeah, Montreal played well, and then like the next game took it overtime, and that was it. Yeah, sorry.
All right, and also, Randall, you were out. On the board is now, we should have a new drop with me saying that John Marks, does he work for the Eagles? I don't know where it is, but I thought about that during the break. Because everybody up in New England, I supplied content for them when I went up there, and I was sizzling hot.
Oh, yeah.
Sizzling hot with my Eagles take. And, like, listen, they got to give me credit because we were on this up there. They were like, we don't need A.J. Brown. We don't need A.J. Brown. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen.
And it happened. And here we are. And, oh, by the way, speaking of odds, nothing changed from the Patriots' perspective. They didn't move.
Yeah, I don't. As far as winning a Super Bowl, I don't think that this.
Really?
No, I don't think they're winning a Super Bowl this year, bro.
Well, I'm not sitting here saying they are, but if I'm an odds maker, I think I'm being swayed with the addition of A.J. Brown.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. Maybe it's not on the board and they just clipped it. Whatever, right? Doesn't matter.
You know what it is, though?
What?
Man, Sean's here at all hours of the day.
Brother, you better get the bleep out of here.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn ready.
Let's go.
That's Howard Eskin. Because
yesterday was a heavy hitter, man.
Because Hulk Hogan cursed at him because Howard was trying to go in the ring. He was announcing one of the wrestling cards in the 80s. And Hulk Hogan, the video somehow came out after all these years, and he told him to bleep out of the ring.
88.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
All right, we got Ish. Ish was crying last night after the trade, or yesterday after the trade was happened. Ish?
Hey, how are you guys?
What up, brother?
Hey, this AJ Brown thing, I can't bash him going out of the door. He gave us, I'll say, 4.5 great years. What he said yesterday, I believe those are just words I really can't take into account. But I agree with Ray. I think we're going to miss his production. I think his production is going to be missed. Other players will have to pick it up. And I fear, we're going to miss him going probably, in week 7, week 8, knowing that he's not there and the ball has to be spread around. And Sean Manion's offense, Jalen's going to have it on a tee because my thing is, if the offense doesn't go good, we always had A.J. Brown just to throw him the ball. He would get his yards and most likely a touchdown. Now we don't have that backup plan. So I'm afraid of, how the season may go. A.J. was a productive player for us. But now, we have to I think we have to move on and see what happens. I'm just afraid.
How many wins for the Eagles, Ish?
7.
7?
7 wins. I don't see how this is going to 7 wins. And this is me speaking as a diehard Eagles fan. This is not good.
This is very, very bad.
All right, it's 7 wins.
Yeah, I'm not subscribing to that one. No.
I don't think this affects the team one bit.
Yeah, look, we need to learn a lot about Mannion and this offense and who's who and what's what. You're putting expectations out there on rookies like I am with Mekhi Lemon and Eli Stowers. I understand. But let me bring it back. Yeah, I am concerned about the A.J. Brown, not so much from the production standpoint to a point. What I would say is it was always nice to have that in the back of your mind that if Devontae goes down,
That's a good point.
you got AJ.
The depth issue.
Correct.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's a good point.
And if AJ goes down, you got Devontae. Like it went hand in hand, and it made you a little bit more comfortable as an Eagles fan. Now, not so much. So these guys are all going to have to step up. They're going to have golden opportunities to do so. It falls on Jalen's shoulders, no ifs, ands, buts about it, but I still believe this is going to come down to Saquon Barkley and that offensive line. It just is. Unless you got Joe Burrow coming.
So, Ray, do we have time to do the cut from back in October? Does it need to be set up with what he said, or can we just play it as is?
Social media post after the Buccaneers game.
All right, here's the social media post after the Bucs game.
Obviously, Sunday after the game, I let my frustrations boil over. I didn't speak to the media. I had a chance to correct my frustrations, and I continue to let it boil over. That's on me. I take full accountability on that, posting that. My message on Twitter wasn't directed at anyone in the building. Not my coaches, not my quarterback, my GM, nobody. Like I said, I take full accountability. I have open communication with all my coaches and with my quarterback as well. Me and my coaches, KP, Nick, we discuss weekly about trying to get this thing on the same page. And so, yeah, there you go.
There you go. I mean, that's being accountable.
Does it make you feel differently that he was requesting a trade the week before? And they were 4-0, and yeah, okay.
But
so you called your quarterback out, or to a point, you put out the social media post when you guys were 3-0, and now you're 4-0, and you got to okay, put my tail between my legs. Maybe it wasn't in my best interest. And oh, by the way, doesn't seem like I'm getting traded.
Yeah, they told him no, but he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to come out and do that. I don't think he did it again because the social media, it didn't stop after that. He just was fortunate to where he didn't address it again because of the calendar or I don't think he was available after one of the weeks or whatever.
And then it went into AJ just being AJ, right? I feel like we all were saying that. It's just AJ. As long as he's going out there and playing, that's fine. But guess what? Then you look back and you have revisionist history over what took place last year.
No, but
was AJ Brown all in last year?
No.
Okay, then.
No, I mean, that's the trump card. You got me. He wasn't. Now, I'll say, well, his teammates, no one has spoken out about him being a bad teammate or causing issues or whatever, but I can't argue with what happened in the playoff game. I can't argue what happened. And believe me, I tried to defend him a couple times where he's not finishing the route, Jalen threw the ball, and it's but if he's never being thrown the ball, then how many times does that happen where the guy's not finishing the route? The bottom line is the quarterback threw you the ball and you weren't running. And then what I saw in that playoff game, that's a guy that's indifferent. That's a guy that's going through the motions. He did it during the regular season, too. He'd be walking off the field. He wasn't angry. He wasn't, he was indifferent.
Yep.
He was just going through the motions. He was saying to himself, I am the bleep out of here after this season. No ifs, ands, or buts. I will not play again after this season with this quarterback. Period. Black Gritty is going to, and Black Gritty, we don't have time for you right now because we're coming up against it. We'll do the news at noon. We have Black Gritty. And Black Gritty is not happy with A.J. Brown at all.
I love me some Black
I texted him because I saw his social media post. I texted him dude, I need you to call today. So he's on the line. We'll get him coming up. News at noon featuring Todd Monken, Channing Frye, and Rich Paul. So at News at noon, we get right back to the A.J. Brown stuff. James Palmer joins us at 1 o'clock. His insight on what's going on with the Eagles and the A.J. Brown trade. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Hi, Brown. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A.J. Brown is a New England Patriot. The Patriots sending a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick to the Eagles in exchange for the star wide receiver A.J. Brown. Following the trade, and up on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, a podcast with Maria Taylor talked about his relationship with Jalen Hurts.
No, it's close. We once were. I believe that's fine. It's there's no bad blood. There's actually still a lot of love. I love him. I love him to death. I want him to succeed and accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish.
We spoke earlier to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. You catch that conversation one more time on our website or the Fanatic app, or you can watch it on our YouTube. James Palmer will join us coming up at 1 o'clock. Myles Garrett was also dealt yesterday. He goes from the Browns to the Rams. The Rams sending Jared Verse and a couple of picks back to Cleveland. Phillies begin a 3-game set with the Padres tonight in South Philly. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phillies. Randy Vasquez on the mound for San Diego. And the Stanley Cup Finals begin tonight between the Hurricanes and Golden Knights. This update is brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment. Rev up Father's Day with gear. Head gifts from SummitRacing.com or give a Summit Racing gift card. Plus, enroll in the rewards program to get more power in every purchase. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Is this where they're pouring out the jungle juice or something in the video?
Jungle juice.
Something. It was a 40?
Was it OE? Yeah, it had to be.
Was it a 40?
Yeah. Man, it was supposed to be something special. 1 to 11.
I am, this is not the song. It's not hard to think about it yesterday. It was a great 4 years, and he's gone. And we got first-round draft pick back. This is great. So if you're watching on YouTube, I have my A.J. Brown jersey on. This is the first time I've ever worn it.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not a big jersey guy. I got this jersey when the Eagles went Kelly Green, and so they gave us hey, yeah, here's a jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And Ike took Devontae Smith. He had first pick, and I was left with A.J. Brown, which is still good. But I was like, well, Devontae's going to be around a long time. I'm more of a Devontae guy than an A.J. guy. But now this becomes valuable because now it's a throwback because he's no longer on the team. In time, yeah. Like Sean said, it would be a protest jersey if I wore it today. It is not a protest jersey because I'm very happy that he's gone.
That was one of the rules of Mike that I always subscribed to. I always enjoyed the protest jersey scenario. Matter of fact,
that's what you're doing today. That is a protest jersey. You're wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey.
Laundry was dirty. I needed something clean to wear.
Yeah, right.
My guy Johnny Haynes from Vision Fit, he was wearing the AJ jersey yesterday, and literally the news broke, and I was like, oh, look at you with the protest. And he's like, no, yeah, you can't trade AJ Brown. Well, he gone.
By the way, speaking of A.J. Brown, today at 2 o'clock, oh, my God, this is the cleanest, neatest trade in the history of the world. He speaks to the media at 2 o'clock. Bill and Rookie Unfiltered will carry it live. Now, is it right at 2 o'clock? It might. Who knows when he actually goes up there. But A.J.'s going to carry it. So I'm interested to hear what he says, but I also said to Bill, he may not get asked a question about Jalen Hurts or the Eagles.
Nope.
He may.
They'll ask him.
Or he may not.
AJ, you had a lot of success down there. Why do you want to leave a winning franchise?
Maybe. Or maybe they don't care because he's coming here. If you're a Patriot writer, are you asking a question of why you wanted to leave? Maybe because you're worried about the same thing could happen here?
Knees. Definitely ask about the knees.
Definitely the knees, yeah.
AJ, how are your knees? My knees are great.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Everything he says, people just eat it up.
My mom's getting a new knee 2 weeks from now.
Did she drain it every week like AJ?
No, she did not.
Okay.
And it's funny because when she's talking about it, she goes, my leg. I'm getting my new leg. My mom's losing it, bro.
Did you explain to her she's not actually getting a new leg?
Literally losing it as we get the car keys everywhere. Yeah. Getting a new leg.
All right. We'll get back to all of this. We have voice memos. We have Black Gritty and more after the news at noon. It doesn't matter what comes in the world of sports. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. Bad Athlete Podcast. Angry college coaches. Innocuous and random topics. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn.
Hey, Ray.
All right, we're not starting with angry college coaches. We've got a pro coach that I think is just out of his depth. I'm sorry. I just think it's going to be bad. And it might be his organization. Maybe it's wrong to blame him for this. But Myles Garrett gets traded yesterday. I don't know what golf outing was yesterday. Poorly planned to have Todd Monken out. It looks like a golf course. If not, they've got a
Andrew Berry was there, too. We saw the Andrew Berry, the GM.
Right.
Cuts.
Yeah. Well, and maybe I'm old-fashioned. If my general manager's trading the defensive player of the year, maybe no golf round that day. Maybe we do stuff from the offices. Maybe no working remote in the day that you trade Myles Garrett. That might just be me. You know, maybe I'm old-fashioned that way.
Maybe.
But they got Todd Monken. They caught up with him, and they're asking him, were you assured when you took this job that you were going to have the best player on your team?
Well, he's not like any other player. I mean, I'm never told who's going to be on the team, who's not going to be on the team. If that's a question, I mean, every day we evaluate the roster. Andrew evaluates the roster. Management evaluates the roster. And like I said, he's no different than any other player we've got. So I don't know how to respond to that based on, because it's really no different today than it's been for the last however many months I've been the head coach.
Have you been assured he'll...
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty big thing. If I'm going into a job interview for any coach at any level, hey, is my best player going to be here by the time September starts? Right?
They all knew.
Right. But, I mean, like, by the way, does it matter? You think Todd Monken's saying, you know what? Nah, I don't want the job. Todd Monken would have taken the job if there would have been the studs on a team. Nothing.
There's another trade that they knew all about.
Yeah, they knew it was happening.
I also want to soft launch a take here.
Yeah.
Todd Monken gives me like a little younger Joe Biden vibe. Just by the way he delivers and just the way he looks.
He's up there in age, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's younger than Joe Biden for sure.
He's 60. Yeah, all right. That's old for an NFL head coach.
Yeah, I don't know how you hire Todd Monken as your head coach.
Right. Okay, so as long as we're all on the same page about him being out of his depth here.
I like he looks every bit of the part of a career offensive coordinator that does well and bounces around a little bit. And if you need an offensive coordinator because you have a defensive head coach or you have a young head coach, you bring him in. This guy ain't head coach material.
No. Not exactly.
I was just actually reading a lot because Jill Biden she's got a memoir that was coming out, and she did the whole media tour over the weekend.
You strike me as someone that would read Joe Biden's memoir.
No, I am not. She did go to my high school, graduated with my
Did
dad, Jill
she?
Biden. Yeah,
I
Pomona High
didn't
School,
know that.
class of 69.
Get out.
Yes,
All right.
and I have no interest in reading it, but she said she knew after the debate that they were in trouble. She thought he had a stroke on the stage.
Yeah, but that's not what she said after.
She did not.
Yeah.
Well, she supported her man.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
More politics.
Hello.
Left wing brace. Here we go.
No, I just told you it was a disaster.
I'm just kidding.
All right. But real quick on the Monken deal, because I think he does. First of all, it's the Cleveland Browns. They don't get anything right.
Nope.
Right? So we'll stop there. But I do want to give the guy an opportunity, right? Like, he knows offense. He was decent with the Ravens. He had a pretty good run with Georgia at college. I get it. I'll be at college. I'm not anti-Todd Monken, but it's the Cleveland Browns.
Okay. Sure.
But he looks like Joe Biden, though. I'm with you on that. Sure.
The delivery, the whole thing, he's a little bit quicker, but
you know what the Brown, like if you're a Browns fan, you must feel so helpless.
Yeah.
Because how do they turn this around? They have a guaranteed money quarterback who used to be good, not anymore. You got an old head coach. You just traded Myles Garrett. You got a bunch of draft picks. What does that matter?
Yeah. They're selling a youth movement up there. That's what they're trying to sell.
Well, what else could they do at this point?
Man, Myles Garrett. People were saying they won the trade.
Yeah. I mean, so they got a first, a second, a third. They got Jared Verse, he's under contract for 2 more years, club control for 2 more years.
That's pretty good.
But, like, what does that matter if you're on a team that's going to suck? You have a great defensive lineman who sucks, and the team sucks. You're going to re-sign him, and he's going to be a part of your future? Okay. But now you're paying him $30 million a year.
I do know this much. The Rams got much better. And
You trade him again?
What happened?
You trade Verse again to get even more draft picks?
Gotcha.
Well, no, the Rams, it's all in. It's a great move for the Rams.
Stafford, top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
Myles Garrett, top 5 defense, of course.
Yep.
Puka
Puka
Nacua,
Nacua.
top 5. Trent McDuffie, top 5.
They have a bunch of other guys on that line that can play, too.
Williams ran for 1,200 yards.
He's a good running back. They have a good club, Sean.
they have a good club.
They have a good club.
By the way, I know this is not news at noon, but it's news that's happening at noon. A.J. Brown officially passed his physical. Deal's done.
All right.
So
that's news.
Not that anyone really thought that it was going to go that way.
No, he took that physical back in April.
Yeah.
Well, they looked at it again.
Yeah. Vrabel said that it's passed.
You know he's got a house already up there.
So is Vrabel speaking now?
Vrabel's speaking now.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I hope we're rolling on that.
So we'll get you if Vrabel says anything meaningful.
His kids are enrolled in school already. They've been up there. They've been in school already.
All right.
A.J. Brown.
Moving back to the news at noon here. Channing Frye hopped on. I know that you were just dying to hear Channing Frye on Ryan Russillo's podcast.
I already heard it.
Okay, so this is not new for you. It's new for Sean Brace.
No, I actually did hear it.
It's
Not because of the podcast.
It's not new for me either. I heard it as well.
Yeah, Larry Brown's the problem. It's really good. It's really good. Larry Brown, this is why things didn't work out the 1 year in New York.
The problem was Larry Brown. We had Larry Brown. We had the most starting lineups. Look that up. Larry, at some point during the season, was getting guys from the G League weekly. So we didn't know who was our teammates. Dude, I promise to God, we didn't know who was starting the basketball game until 40 minutes when he would write it on the board. Then he came up with something. And remember, I played 14 years. I have never, and probably will never see this again. He would say, if you're from this city, you can start. Or if you went to college here. So we'd get a dude off the airplane, Ime Udoka, ask him. He was on our team.
They had 16 different players start a game for them that season. Not process Sixers level, but still pretty insane.
So did you hear the longer cut where he was talking about how they spent hours on going just like certain plays, the details of certain plays.
Yep.
And these guys are rolling their eyes being like, what the hell are we doing? But you know who bought into that? Detroit Pistons.
Yep.
And they won that championship with Larry Brown because they played defense like I've never seen before. They were holding teams under 70 points in some of these games during their run. They beat the Lakers. Nobody saw that coming. That Pistons team was great. You need a specialized team that's going to buy in the Larry to win. And those guys weren't it.
He was there for 1 year.
Yeah. No, and remember, that was his dream job. That was the Knicks. He's a native New Yorker. It's like, wow, he's going home. He left the Pistons. I think the Pistons were winning a championship, and he was already meeting with the Knicks to the
Well,
side.
they won the championship in 04 and then lost
So it was the next year because he did the same thing here.
Yeah.
When they were in the playoffs, it was rumored he was going to Detroit, and he did. And the Pistons, I think, beat the Sixers in the playoffs. That's Larry, man.
I love Larry. Don't want to say anything bad about him, but I will say something good. How about this? I do respect. Hey, you're from here. You went to college here. You're starting. I like that angle. Why not?
Didn't we have? Was this station or was it another station? We had Larry on the air, and he was ripping Hinkie.
We had Larry on the air, I remember, and man, he was writing for PHLY, and his dad was in the media.
Rich Hoffman.
Thank you. We had Larry on, and we were giving it back to Larry, and Rich Hoffman, the son,
Rich Hoffman Jr.,
tweeted at me, like, who do you think you are? I responded thinking it was his dad. And I'm like, man, it's a shame. I like you on Daily News Live.
No, I challenged Larry because Larry said there's nobody in the organization that knows what they're doing when it comes to basketball. And he was talking about Sam Hinkie. And I had said, well, Larry, to be fair, you're a Hall of Fame basketball guy, and you took Larry Hughes over Paul Pierce.
Ooh.
And he was not happy with that. But it's the truth. If you're going to challenge Sam Hinkie and not even use his name, it's like, hey, my point was, even great basketball minds like yourself make mistakes.
Yes.
And he was not happy that I was challenged. So, okay, sometimes I lose where I did stuff or whatever.
And that, look, we love Larry Brown, but that was where the conversation took us. I just remember post-show tweeting at him going, it's great to hear from you, Rich. Big fan of Daily News Live. And then I was like, oh, it's son.
It's his son.
Yeah.
And by the way,
he was probably in high school at the time.
Well, and I mean, Ray pitched having him on the show. I'd love to have him on the show. Rich is an opinionated 76er, and he's a Philadelphia sports guy, too.
We can revisit the tweet.
That's a great idea.
As part of Bury the Hatchet month?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a hat. Well, yeah, I do, kind of. I don't
have many. Well, who would be in my Bury the Hatchet month?
I don't know.
Costas?
I've already buried the hatchet with Avalon Bryan, so I'm good.
Avalon Bryan, last time he called, I think. Anyway.
I don't think I have any hatchets. I haven't been around long enough.
I will put together a list of hatchets that I will bury. I like that.
All right. Bury the Hatchet month. Coming up soon. We'll try to get Rich Hoffman on the show. Last one for you. I'm going to bite. It's been sent to me too much. Rich Paul on the podcast he's doing with Max Kellerman, talking about Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan.
I think Scottie's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. Why not?
Because he won the best player on the team.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful player on the team.
I get it.
What do you mean he wasn't?
Listen, I get it.
If you unplug Scottie Pippen off that team,
sure.
Jordan's 0 for 6.
Yeah, like that's why I don't. When you say Rich Paul, I kind of just roll my eyes. I know he's successful. I know LeBron. I know all the other stuff. That's stupid.
Yeah.
It's just flat out stupid. And I can, like, and by the way, I'm also the guy now that's saying LeBron might be over Jordan on the list. I finally come to terms that needs to be a discussion. He sounds stupid saying that. 0 for 6 without Scottie Pippen, my ass. Scottie Pippen's a great player. All right, you take Jordan off that team. Where are you with Scottie Pippen?
Uh-huh.
You're not 0 for 6. You're 0 for 0.
Anytime you're ready to break that list down, Jordan versus LeBron, you let me know.
Put it on the show sheet.
I am sure as hell not giving it to LeBron.
What he's done, I'm telling you, the longevity of the career.
I'm with you.
What he's done.
A little prisoner of the moment, too, because it's fresh. It's in our eyes.
Jordan could not have done what LeBron did for that many years.
It's a different day and age.
I know it is.
He came up in the 80s.
Yeah, and he was protected by everybody, the media.
They were smoking cigarettes at halftime and drinking beers in those days.
The good old days.
And everything else.
I could go for a cigarette right now.
I'm pretty sure I remember somebody. I remember.
How about that?
Yeah, there was a special substance that was going around that Bulls locker room, if I'm not mistaken. There was a story about Jordan's rookie season. Yeah.
Cocaine? Well, the cocaine in sports in the mid-'80s was big.
Well, the early HGH, yeah.
Yeah, the early HGH. Well, I mean, so like Keith Hernandez, I think it was why he was traded from the Cardinals. He had a big-time cocaine problem. He'd be in his locker and his nose would be bleeding. You think about the 86 Mets and those Mets teams.
Oh, yeah.
You kidding me? In New York, the cocaine that was flying around that. I mean, people used to come to Philly. There's a cocaine dealer in Philly that was known to then go into the visitors clubhouse with the good stuff. Oh, man, the good old days.
Nails knew him really well.
I bet. By the way, Lenny Dykstra sober. And he sounds like it, too.
Yeah.
When I heard him talk, it's like, all right, I hate Lenny Dykstra. I think he's an absolute loser.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's had a drug problem for a long time.
I don't want anyone to die, but at the same time, like, he runs his yap. It's like, whatever.
All right. Well, speaking of running the Yap, Black Gritty from blackgritty.com. When I'm telling you he's influencing all over the place, go to blackgritty.com, follow him on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and MySpace. Black Gritty, hello.
Good morning, guys. It's afternoon now, actually. I apologize. I just woke up. A.J. Brown is an insane human being. Now, I know we all got mental issues. I'm going to put that out there up front. But that aside, this is so insane. You're going to put AI pictures out of you in a Patriots jersey for what reason? You pander to a place, you act like you've been wanting to love there and be there the whole time. You do this interview with the Patriots rug. So you don't have Eagles players come to your crib and walk around and sit around with your little Patriots rug. Oh, that's how we live in it? It's been here the whole time in my whole life. Come on, bro. And then she asked him a question. Why did you and Jalen fall out? Nothing, no reason. You know who says that? The person that's wrong. The person that did somebody else wrong. Because if it was Jalen's fault, he would have said, well, Jalen did this or Jalen did that. Now, I can't speculate on the radio because I don't want to get y'all in trouble. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a journalist. But I'm saying it was over a lady, which we heard about 2 or 3 years ago, which apparently is being confirmed by things on the internet. And this man has the nerve to go out there and sit there on the internet and lie about my team and put on an AI jersey. Mental health is real, bro. I am so upset. AJ out of Brown, Clown Brown. Got to go. I'm so happy he's gone. Go up there with the Patriots where they cheat us out of the Super Bowl. They go in to see massage therapists with their owner, baby oil galore, and then he had the nerve to use a Diddy song on his little AI video. Like, come on, boy, put the baby oil down and get out of my town. I'm just saying, I can't live like this. Now, anybody who says we won't be better addition by subtraction, all I need is my offensive line to stay good because he was mad because Barkley had 2,000 yards. He helped us win the Super Bowl. That was Barkley's Super Bowl. He had 48 yards and 1 touchdown. And that man went on the internet and wrote a paragraph essay the next day and told you how it didn't matter. So you know what his contribution to the Super Bowl don't matter to me. I don't want to hear nothing. T.O. He wanted an okay chant because they're saying Coop and they're not recognizing my touchdowns. You punk Scooby McDoo. Oh, please don't let the door hit you. Mayo. Hell no. I hope you get clocked over the middle up there, bro. Enjoy them winners up there in Boston Beantown and see how they treat you when you alligator some balls. How you guys doing today? Everything all right?
Oh,
there he is.
Great.
Give him a round of applause.
Nice work. Nice work.
One last thing.
Yeah.
One last thing. Michael Jordan didn't get out of the first round until Scottie Pippen came. Wemby in here in his third year getting to a final. Don't ever bring up Michael Jordan better than nobody. He's about to not be able to clear Wemby in 5 years. Have a great day, guys.
Gritty crazy. I love
Black
it.
Gritty from blackgritty.com. Thank you, Black Gritty.
Love it. Again, we'll bank the show sheet for the Jordan conversation. Wemby, I look forward to the finals. But, when it comes to AJ, and of course that's the big one for us today, rightfully so, I'm right there with Gritty as far as the anger is concerned. And I'm not even going to put that story to the side because who the hell knows what's going on there. Andrew brought up something from the morning show. And he said that it's crazy where you have all these respected journalists that are, do this for a living, putting out the information. And nobody wanted to believe that A.J. Brown was getting traded. Yet all of a sudden, this crazy fan fiction story lands on our timeline, and the guy literally goes, hey, don't blame me if it's not right.
What are you talking about? The massage therapist thing?
Yeah, that's what Gritty was talking about.
No, I know, but he didn't say it.
Yeah,
there was a story a long time ago about the Phillies.
Yeah.
And some Phillies players, and there was a rumor that literally started in a comment section of a post somewhere. I don't remember what it was, a Crossing Broad post or somewhere. Sean and I used to be big in the Crossing Broad post when they allowed comments in the comment section. My wife was also apparently very big in the comment section of there. But anyway, it literally started, and I'm not even going to say what it is. It literally started in a comment, and people took that, and it became fact to where, for years, a long time, I would get messages, hey, I don't know if you know this yet. Yeah, you're the 50,000th person that have emailed me talking about this, right?
Oh, it's the same thing.
So somebody on Twitter claims that all of this started. Help me, and I want to put this out there to make sure I'm saying that I don't know if this is true. The only reason I'm even mentioning it is because I'm getting so many messages. Hey, this is what I heard. Did they talk about it this morning? Did he bring it up on the air? I think he did.
I don't think they went into the whole thing. They just
Okay,
mentioned
well,
theirs.
regardless, there's some random Twitter account that's claiming there's an issue, and this all started with A.J. Brown because a massage therapist that a couple of players liked, and that's where this all came from, that A.J.'s mad because of massage therapist that he was interested in and other teammates may have been interested in or whatever. I know nothing about that. I have no reason to believe that's true because one person said it on Twitter. Hey, listen, I hear a lot of things too. Guess what I don't do? I don't put it out there because I'm not a journalist and I'm not a reporter, and it's not my job to put out rumor and innuendo, especially with that.
Yeah.
Same thing with this Philly story. The Philly story, I sniffed it out as being crap. Could it have been true? Sure, but I'm not going to run with something. So if you're going to bring up the story about massage therapists or whatever, just end it there. Until I get more reporting or whatever, there's no reason to even bring it up. And I'm not saying that to the Black Gritty. I'm saying that to everybody else. Yes, I know about it. No, I don't care. All right?
Yeah, it's just funny that, nobody wanted to believe anything. And then all of a sudden you put a rumor like that out there, and it's like,
this is all made up by the media. He's not being traded. It makes no sense. You're the bad people, right, Ray?
I did see that in the comments to the thank you, AJ, post of the Eagles. Thanks a lot, media.
Oh, so it's the media's fault.
Yes.
Like, I can't. I can't even get
I'm a big, like you guys were in the comments, I'm big in the replies just about everywhere.
Yeah.
If you write it about anything, I'm reading it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I have a bad job of staying off social that way.
No, go for it, man.
Not good.
No?
No. I found a Reddit where they were talking about me.
Really?
Oh, not good.
Ooh. They're talking bad about you? Ray, you gotta look long and far to find negativity on Ray Dunn.
Is there a 97.5 The Fanatic Reddit chain?
There's not. No, there was a Reddit chain that went on when changes were made at this station. And there was disappointment in the fact that my voice was heard more.
Oh, God.
Oh, who cares?
Well, no, but that's what I mean. When I say that I read everything.
We need a Reddit. We need a subreddit on just our show. I'm always jealous when I see other shows
Bill
that have
Simmons Reddit.
No, not that. But
You're jealous of Bill Simmons, right?
No, I'm not. There's nothing that makes me jealous about Bill Simmons, other than he makes a lot of money. He's been very successful.
I was gonna say that.
Because I like literally, you may go home and watch Bill Simmons. You have to give me a suitcase of money to watch that or to listen to him.
Think how easy,
God, he's insufferable.
Easy his life is.
Yeah, man, listen, he's a big star. He had a lot of success. Screw him.
You get money for babysitters. You could literally just have babysitters live
All
at
right,
the house.
what did Jalen Hurts? What did A.J. Brown say about Jalen Hurts? What did A.J. Brown say about the situation in Philadelphia? Right on schedule. Right on schedule. Trades announced. Oh, let's sit down with Maria Taylor on a podcast and discuss it. We have all of them coming up next. Also, voice memos and your phone call, 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A.J. Brown's a Patriot. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. A.J. Brown dealt for a 2028 first-round pick, a 2027 fifth-round pick. Birds finally moving on from the star wide receiver after months of speculation about the move happening. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN joined us earlier today and talked about how the trade came to be.
By all intents and purposes, before the draft, both teams pretty much knew what they had to do to get it done. And it was sort of like wink, wink, accepted. Maybe not agreed to in terms. There's nothing firm, but there were parameters at that point. Like everybody felt comfortable waiting till June to get this done.
Well, now it's done. You'll hear more from A.J. Brown, 2 o'clock. He'll be live speaking to the media. You can catch it on Unfiltered. Jeremy Fowler, who joined us earlier, you can listen back to that on our website, the Fanatic app, or our YouTube page. James Palmer will join us coming up at 1 o'clock. Another big deal in the NFL yesterday. Myles Garrett going to the Rams. Jared Verse and picks going back to the Browns. Phillies begin a 3-game set with the Padres tonight. Aaron Nola on the mound for the Phils. And the Stanley Cup Finals begin tonight. Hurricanes, Golden Knights, as that gets going this evening. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference. Davis Honda in Burlington, New Jersey. James Palmer, our insider, comes up at 1 o'clock. His thoughts on the trade. Maybe he can give us some insight because it's as clean a trade. Do we agree with that? Last week, Sean, you had predicted the second the trade would happen.
Yep.
And then after what all the insiders said last week, it's like, oh, it may not be till July now. Who knows?
Sit-ups in the driveway.
Meanwhile, it happened at 4 whatever on June 1st. The cleanest trade you'll ever see. AJ is going to speak at 2 o'clock. We'll carry it here on 97.5 The Fanatic. He did a podcast last night. He recorded it at 7 o'clock. I mean, Jesus. Could this have been any less orchestrated?
Oh, don't forget about the sponsored post for the moving company.
You got a moving company, so he's not even going to pay to move.
Yeah, I no longer want A.J. Brown to be happy.
Ray, do we want him to be happy?
This was the most annoying thing we did throughout this entire process. Your guys, especially, I remember I think I came back from the conference room. I was driving back to my apartment, and the two of you guys, I just want to be happy.
Just want AJ
And I
to
was
be
ready
happy.
to drive off of 95.
Hey, Ray.
Yep.
Well, you also didn't believe it was going to happen. You weren't one of the last holdouts, but
No,
you
no,
didn't want it to happen.
By February, the wink was the beginning of the end for me.
Oh, the wink. Don't even remember.
Can we revisit the wink?
Completely forgot about the
Remember
wink.
how mad people got when he did the wink?
Yeah, well.
The whole thing was orchestrated. He knew last year this was going to happen.
When he sat down with dudes on dudes out there in San Francisco and did that podcast and gave him the wink, he knew he was going to be a New England Patriot.
What about the Michael Parsons podcast? We want to start revisiting the greatest hits of all this.
Well, that was the same
We
time
can maybe
frame.
do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same time frame. No, but remember, I remember my reaction to the Micah Parsons was he hit every cliche in the book about Philadelphia. He gone. Because what was the reaction? Oh, he's not going anywhere. Oh, negative media. Bah! He just told you he wasn't going anywhere. I'm the a-hole. Johnny Marks, you're the a-hole. No. You're going to die. You're going to run him out of town. Man, this dude knew last year during the offseason he was doing this. No?
12:33. I'm the a-hole.
Yep,
we got to
just
pull
wrote it
that
down.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
got to pull that one.
Glad we're on the same page for that
Yeah.
one.
Nice work.
All
Ryan.
right, voice memos on the
Ray.
Davis Honda text line. This is a great way to get involved in the show. You get in, you get out, you get on your way. Listen.
What's going on, fellas? It's Sean Menard out in Manning. I'm checking in from Crossing Broad and DraftKings Network here, and I am sick of this joyous tone and borderline admiration coming from Johnny Marks surrounding the whole A.J. Brown situation. This is a guy who treated the Eagles like a second-class organization. A.J. Brown treated the Eagles like they were the Cleveland Browns. He treated Jalen Hurts like he's Ryan Tannehill. Frankly, he treated Tannehill much better. I was trying to think of other Philadelphia athletes who actively quit on the franchise the way A.J. Brown just did, and the closest thing that I can come up with is Ben Simmons. Unfortunately, I think the mental makeup of these two egotistical maniacs is a whole lot closer than we've acknowledged to this point. A.J. Brown will be remembered fondly with time, but he should properly be painted as the villain that he is right now. I hope his NFL career deteriorates at an even more rapid rate than Ben Simmons, and that Cooper DeJean is ready to take his head off when he comes across the middle this year.
Yeah, I need him signed to a long-term contract, Sean Bernard, to where you don't pay him a lot now, and then later when he could make a lot more money elsewhere, he can't.
Yeah.
This kid is a genius. I love him. Every time he sends his voice memo, he executes it perfectly.
You didn't know where he was going to go with that.
Well, the Ben Simmons stuff, I don't even care about that. But like my admiration for A.J. Brown is the success that they had and the fact that we're getting him out of town when it's painfully obvious that he needs to leave. That's why I'm so happy. I got my cake, I ate it, and now I'm getting rid of it, and I still have a full cake.
What's your favorite cake? God, I've been eating way too much cake lately.
Carrot cake.
Seriously?
Yep.
Really?
For my birthday, my wife will go out and get me a carrot cake or an ice cream cake. Love ice cream cakes.
Yeah, ice cream cakes.
In fact, from my birthday, I just finished the ice cream cake from my birthday.
In the freezer?
Yep. Oh, yeah, and it still tasted as good as December 19th when I ate it. There's a big sheet cake, too.
Yeah, I've been feasting on cakes. My mom had a birthday 2 weeks ago, and then my wife had to do something this weekend. She was in charge of the cake. She brings it home. I had 2 pieces. I'm like, come on, man.
I need more Sean Bernard in my life.
Sean's a man. I'm with you there. And we're actually going to be doing a pre-NBA Finals Game 1 podcast. Yeah, we'll be live at 7:30 tomorrow night.
Nice.
But you're right. Like I feel like he felt like almost like, hey, man, no NBA, so I got to find my voice. Well, there it is.
Yeah, he can do more than NBA.
Oh,
Sean,
yeah,
no, he should be hosting a show on the stage.
He's a freak. He does MLB. He does everything for
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah,
He literally does breakdowns of all these games.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much he works for them.
All right, Ray, what else do we have here?
Oh, my God. Thank goodness it's over. What's going on, guys? Michigan Elliott. I don't understand why anybody is confused or upset about this. That, 3 out of 4 years, A.J. Brown was not happy. 2023, we had to force feed him. He had that great 6-game stretch, right? This was the majority of the time that we had a receiver that was sulking on the sideline, posting cryptic messages, and we're all back here oh, yeah, he's a great teammate, blah, 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 blah. What about Devontae? Devontae's been there. He hasn't done any of this stuff. If A.J.'s great, what is Devontae? He's a saint. I mean, this is ridiculous that Eagles used to be a franchise that didn't tolerate guys requesting trades left and right and operating outside of the betterment of the team. And we're going to say that this dude we're a better team with this dude on it? No.
We're not.
The Eagles had to take him off the field during running plays because he didn't want to block anymore.
Yeah, they're not a better team. They're in a better spot going forward not bringing A.J. Brown back. You couldn't bring him back, man.
No. It was he didn't want to come back. This starts and ends with the player. The player wanted no part of being a part of this organization moving forward.
And what he said, this wasn't a one-year thing. This is a multiple-year thing. Now, I will counter all of that by saying, give me the teammates that are angry at A.J. Brown. Give me the teammates that are talk poorly about A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith and A.J. are very close, right? They may be more aligned on what we're talking about than you realize. AJ's just, or Devontae's not a guy that comes out and expresses his emotion publicly on social media.
Hey, at the end of the day, the trump card, as we were talking about earlier, it comes down to the success of the team. If this team went to a Super Bowl, if this team went to an NFC Championship game last year, I'm probably singing something different about AJ.
No, he's still being traded.
No doubt. He's still being traded, but my venom would be a little bit less.
Okay.
All right, because the team had success. Dude, he threw this team off from day one last year as far as the vibes are concerned. As the voice memo, that was perfect. Great job by that guy. I didn't catch his name, but that was perfect because the cryptic messages, the pouting. Dude, I don't care about the previous 2 years because they won.
Yeah.
They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the big picture is that he's been unhappy for more than just this past year.
Yeah, but you could be unhappy as long as you produce. Right?
No, agreed, but it just takes you into his mindset, which is he hasn't been happy pretty much the whole time he's been here.
You're right.
Outside of maybe the honeymoon phase, right? That 2023, there were a lot of unhappy people. The season fell apart. Everybody was unhappy.
AJ's a strange cat.
2024, the offense was not good. But also, AJ did speak up, and you could have had everybody that was just saying everything's fine. He did not do that. It's like a dynamic that's never happened in the city before. It really, really is. For the most part, people are like, okay, goodbye. We loved you. See ya, whatever. I mean, normally when an athlete demands a trade, fans get mad. All right, coming up, Mike Vrabel had his press conference. What does he make about what happened in Philly with A.J. Brown? That's coming up next. And we're also going to have to revisit his comments because he had one comment with the Maria Taylor podcast where he talks about how he doesn't understand. I don't understand why people are making a big deal. What don't you understand? We'll play that maybe coming up after James Palmer. But that's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5. Ray, you're looking at the text on it. Have people turned on AJ a little bit today?
Yeah, now that it's happened, I don't think he did himself any favors with Maria Taylor.
Yeah, you know what? Like I was surprised that he did it so quickly. It definitely makes you feel like that he's a little bit of a phony, right? Like, oh, look at this! I slipped on a banana peel, and I have a podcast scheduled for. We're going to record at 7:00, and then it gets released at 9 a.m. And then I'm going to talk to the media at 2:00. You know what I mean? Like this is just the orchestration of everything. Because I always said that I was impressed with how calculated AJ was, and he's very calculated. He's even more calculated than I think we thought.
It probably would have been in his best interest to not do
anything at all.
He didn't need to do that podcast.
Did not.
Where he said, quote, people just got so fixated on our relationship and wanted to talk about it. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Star quarterback, star wide receiver, Super Bowl champion, demanding trades during the season. Yeah, we were kind of fixated.
I feel like we need the breaking news sound over that.
Demanding trades during the season, book on the sideline, multiple social media posts. Right? Like, yeah, it became a big story. Yep.
I want him to do well and accomplish everything that his heart desires.
Let's just play it. Which is that?
Sorry.
Which one's that? Let's play it. Here's AJ Brown with Maria Taylor.
How would you describe your relationship right now?
Not as close as we once were. And I believe that's fine. It's like there's no bad blood. There's actually still a lot of love. I love him. I love him to death. I want him to succeed and accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish. I didn't truly understand why our friendship became the public of the center of everybody's attention.
Pause it real fast. Well, you're the god. He's the godfather for your children, and now you've demanded your way out of town in large part because of Jalen Hurts. So that's why. All right, go ahead.
Football, because looking back on it, we haven't been as close as we were a couple of years now, but that didn't stop anything.
Mm-hmm.
We still competed, we still pushed each other, we still led the team. So it was just kind of strange, people just got so fixated on the relationship and wanted to talk about maybe from the history of this place, but that wasn't what this was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say it to you. I say it on camera. I got nothing but love for him.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to do well and accomplish everything his heart desires. So
I think at the end of the day, people always just want to know why, and there's an understanding that people grow apart. What is the best way that you can put a description so people can understand?
Yeah, nothing happened. People just grow apart. Nothing happened between me and him or our families, wives, anything. Nothing like that ever happened. But life happens. And you just look up sometimes and you find yourself drifting away. And that's fine. And I think both parties accepted that.
Does he answer why he wanted to leave?
No.
Was he asked why specifically? Why do you want to go? Why did you want to be traded? Because you can talk all that junk or whatever, and like maybe AJ does like I don't know why you would want. Yeah, like when he says that he wants the best for Jalen, that all that might be true.
Yeah.
But why does he want to leave? Is it because it's just time to move on? And like obviously it was. We all know the answer to it. He wasn't happy here. He wasn't happy with the offense. So, like, it's like the whole, honestly, do I really care about the relationship? What you care more about than I do between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and their friendship? I don't care about that. They cannot be friends. When he says that they were, despite that they were able to still lead the team and whatever, that's I would say that's fair to say. I don't know. They were still playing. They were talking on the sidelines and things like that. When they would celebrate touchdowns, they didn't totally avoid each other.
Look, I think the reason why I care more so than anything is the fact that you had all this stuff written and Jalen continues to be the bad guy. And nationally, people say things about it, and you're supposed to have your guys back, right? Like
he never defended Jalen with that.
There you go.
That's true. All right, so you have a Q&A with the closest to that cut.
Was there a point last season or during your course of your time in Philly where you're like, it's just untenable? Like I'm ready for what a next chapter might look like for me. Like, can you think of the moment?
No, it wasn't just a specific moment. I would say. I think just at the end of the season, I just realized, that I felt like my time was up.
Felt like my time was up.
He's just not being honest. Just not being honest. He's very fraudulent.
Right?
And I just go ahead, Ray. Sorry.
Biggest winner the last 24 hours, Maria Taylor.
Yeah, agreed.
Well,
both sides can be we won the trade. She got A.J. Brown right away, and the questions are there. He's
She
not
did
being honest.
She did a good job with it. She followed up on a lot of stuff. She's not going to press him, right? But
No.
she followed up on the one.
why.
Yeah, the why.
Why question?
Yeah, like, you know what it is, Sean? He's not going to tell you why. He's not going to tell you why.
Is there a why?
Yeah.
What's the why?
He doesn't think Jalen's a very good quarterback, and he feels like he wasn't being used properly, and they were wasting his talent here in Philadelphia. That's what you hear everybody say behind the scenes. He didn't want to come out and say that because that means he's going to rip Jalen. And he had no intention of ripping Jalen. You can talk about how they weren't friends like they used to be. That's life. That happens sometimes, right?
Sure.
But he would have had to, if he was being honest, he would have had to come out and say, we weren't very good on offense. I didn't think I was being used properly. I didn't think I was getting the ball thrown to me. I don't think our offense and our quarterback was very good. That's what he thinks.
Yeah, and it would have been really interesting for him to say all those things after they won a Super Bowl, right? Like that would have fried a lot of people's brains out there, including mine, because you have success, and that's what this game is all about. Again, it comes back to me, I. The Super Bowl Instagram post, the book on the sideline. Like, this dude, it's not
the book on the sideline.
It's not a first. He's not the first diva receiver. He's the first diva receiver to keep this under the vest. But at the end of the day, it's not the first guy that's not going to give us a real substance as far as answer is concerned.
Not with that.
Nope.
Not with that. All right, Mike Vrabel addressed the situation with A.J. Brown. What happened in Philly? What does Vrabel have to say about that? Listen.
Whatever happens or comes up, I think that I can't say that there's not going to be things that come up with AJ, with any single player, right? I think that this is a competitive game, highly competitive. Players want to win. Players want to do everything they can to help their team. They want to make sure that people are on the right page. So I don't get into a lot of that. I think that what's the most important is that those things don't carry into the locker room, that they get handled. And you see that all the time on the sidelines. We want to have conversations in a meeting room. We want to have conversations at practice. Sometimes those conversations are animated, but it's all in the sake of trying to get on the same page and get right. So again, I don't know what happened. I'm not trying to figure out what happened in Philadelphia. I'm trying to focus on what's going to happen here.
Ray, you said you were shocked by something he said?
Yeah, Mike Vrabel's policy this offseason is everything that's happened in the past is something we shouldn't investigate, and we all should move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, not surprising he gave us nothing with that.
Yeah.
And honestly, what do you really want him to say? He doesn't care. He knows AJ. I will say this, and this isn't a defense of AJ more than it's just reality. Whatever was going on in the locker room over the course of the last 1, 2, 3 years, it didn't affect any of his teammates to say anything negatively about him. It didn't. So we can believe that he was maybe perhaps a negative influence in the locker room. Ain't none of his teammates saying that. We'll see what happens. There's going to be stories that are coming out. Bill Colarulo enters the chat, and he's shaking his head.
Yeah.
Say what you want about AJ. The book, looking back in hindsight, seems pretty silly and seems pretty selfish and self-centered. Nobody else is saying that. None of his teammates are saying that. None of his coaches are saying that.
Between Brace and Bill at some point this week.
I trust my judgment. No,
not this week. Now. Today.
Yeah.
Today.
Absolutely.
After Palmer, 1:30. Bill Colarulo against Sean Brace.
I like it.
The Battle of A.J. Brown.
Ring the bell.
That's coming up.
All right.
James
Have fun defending him, Bill.
James Palmer at 1 o'clock. What we were just talking about with the ins and outs, how did he not become a negative influence if he's demanding trades and he's not happy with the offense and he's not happy with the quarterback? I'm just shocked that there's been nobody that has come out even off the record saying bad things about AJ. Because it would make a lot more sense if, here's what I do expect: a couple of teammates or people in the organization. Because John Kincade is telling me there's going to be something that comes out. What's going to come out? That it was a distraction? Of course it was a distraction. But, is anybody going to say bad things about AJ outside of the obvious, which was it was time to move on?
I'd like to hear it was a distraction. That would be a first. Has anybody said that yet?
Nope.
All right.
Nothing. James Palmer. noted NFL insider who's been really he's been at the top of this story the entire time. Joins us coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Yo, let's talk about my hair for a second. And if you're watching on YouTube, I have the hat on today. But, I mean, I could have styled it perfectly. My hair looks good, and it's because of Morgenstern Hair Restoration. So more men start treatment earlier with the experts at Morgenstern Hair Restoration. You know why? It's about prevention. So, sure, you can get the hair transplant like me, but it's not just about the hair transplant. It's about the options that you have to keep your hair. Non-invasive options, so you're not getting to where I was when I had the hair transplant. And you're talking about a team with more than 30 years of experience in hair restoration. It makes all the difference. So it's not just about doing something about it. It's where you go. That matters today, and that's Morgenstern Hair Restoration. 3 locations, Bala Kenwood, Wayne, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR, morgensternhair.com. Morgan with an A, morgensternhair.com. And when you call them, we're talking about a complimentary consultation. They're not going to try to sell you on anything. They're going to take a look and say, here's what we should do. 610-831-HAIR, morgensternhair.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Our long local nightmare is over. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. And after months of discussion about A.J. Brown being dealt to the Patriots, it finally happened. 2028 first-round pick, a 2027 fifth-round pick. That's the price for the Patriots to acquire A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown hopped on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast last night following the trade, talked about his relationship with Jalen Hurts.
Not as close as we once were. I believe that's fine. It's like there's no bad blood. There's actually still a lot of love. I love him. I love him to death. I want him to succeed and accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish.
If you want to hear more from A.J. Brown, he's speaking to the media at 2 o'clock, and Unfiltered is going to carry it live for you. We'll talk to James Palmer coming up next about everything going on with this deal. We spoke earlier to Jeremy Fowler. You catch that one more time on the website or the Fanatic app. Elsewhere in the NFL, Myles Garrett was dealt yesterday to the Rams from the Browns. Phillies begin a 3-game set tonight with the Padres, and the Stanley Cup Finals gets going tonight. This update is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes, better people through sports. Info, positivecoach.org. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the NBA Finals, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This is more appropriate than It's So Hard to Say About It Yesterday.
Still not feeling it.
So natural. I belong to you. Girl, I know you really love me. Yeah, all you emotional people today on A.J. Brown, I'm good, man. I am good. I'm happy. It's been a great 4 years. You're getting essentially your initial investment, even though hasn't the player depreciated?
Oh, absolutely.
Still a good player.
Yeah.
He'll go up there and he'll have a rejuvenated year. He'll probably be good, really good for 2 years, and then he'll get sick of
If
something.
he's healthy. Those knees are definitely concerning.
Agreed.
I was not worried about when he was here, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should have been looking at
So
that.
Ray, by year 3, he hates Vrabel again.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well,
Because
again,
remember, he
maybe
hated Vrabel down there.
Did he hate him by the end?
Not by the end, but he went through it. Like, I think he appreciated him by the end.
Gotcha.
I think by year 3, will he hate Vrabel? Wait, who's the offensive coordinator, the former head coach?
McDaniels.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels.
Oh, he'll hate him.
He'll hate him.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's a jerk. He'll hate, like, whatever the reason, he'll find something he's not going to be happy about by year 3.
You remember when you said you didn't want me to have joy in life?
But I didn't say that. That's
But, like, kind of basically what you said. I'm saying that because I'm going to set up your joy today about the deal, I think, is actually what has me emotional about this.
What?
I think seeing the joy you've taken in this deal go down has made me more upset about the fact that this is happening.
So you're unhappy that I'm happy.
Kind of. Yeah.
You want me to feel like a lot of Eagles fans, but why? Why?
I don't know.
But don't a lot of Eagles fans, aren't they just kind of happy that it's over? If they would have gotten a 3rd-round draft pick for A.J. Brown, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting anything in return. It's like, hang on a second. A.J. Brown's still a good player. We're getting a 3rd-round draft pick because this loser wants to be traded. Do I think A.J. Brown is justified in wanting to be traded? I mean, nobody else has demanded a trade. But there's a lot of other unhappy people with Jalen Hurts in that organization.
Dude, my guy is already out there catching passes on the practice field.
Yes.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's already at practice. You think about how I'm telling you.
He had his kids already enrolled in school up there.
I've never seen anything like this ever. I've never seen such a, literally, it looks like a movie script. This looks like a script. Even on Friday, you got the fake, it might happen for weeks. It might not be weeks. You had the Jaguars might be interested. There's other teams that are interested. That was never the case. He was going to the Patriots. Now, if the Chargers would have been interested, or like they could have went to the Rams, all these other things could have happened. This was orchestrated a long time ago. He was leaving Philadelphia after this year. He knew it. The Eagles knew it. Everybody knew it. All right, James Palmer's going to join us in a couple minutes. Is he there right now? Oh, man, this dude has been on it from the beginning. He is our NFL insider, Bleacher Report. He does the great show with Steve Smith that I've called a couple times now. 89. Find it on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. James Palmer joins us, the pride of Upper Merion. What's up, James?
You guys jamming to Boys to Men there, huh?
Oh, jamming, all right.
What's the proper goodbye song for A.J. Brown?
Man,
We've went back and forth with this.
That's not bad. I mean, it ties into Philly. I remember buying that album at the wall at the King of Prussia Mall.
Oh, yeah.
You get that little sticker on there to make sure something bad happens. It gets scratched. You can always return
the purple sticker, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Purple?
the purple sticker in the corner.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going Big Sean. You might know this one. I Don't Bleep With You. That's my song that I want to mess with right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so James knows, I'm very happy because I'm actually impressed at the value they got in return. They almost got what they traded him for 4 years ago. Sean is very much in his feelings right now because he feels like that this was very well orchestrated and calculated from A.J. Brown and almost fake.
Yes. And also the other thing I would like to throw on there is the fact that I'm revisiting what took place last year, James, and that this team was destined for greatness. This team, remember in the offseason, Howie Roseman with this super team that they're putting together, and A.J. Brown, whether we want to believe it or not, I'm going to believe that he was requesting a trade. That report was out there multiple times throughout the course of the regular season. He wanted out point blank after the Super Bowl championship. And I look at him, and he's the one that ruined the vibes from day one with a reigning Super Bowl champion team. And that's just inexcusable for me. And now with all this nonsense going on, he's already signed off. Hell, he's already out there catching passes from Drake May. Come on.
Like his routes and Drake May's strengths on those routes, I would run out there too. I mean, Drake May's the best thrower of the football on slants, posts, goes. That's what AJ does. I guess if I'm AJ, I go out there and I get out there with Drake May as quickly as possible. To what you're saying, honestly, I would say there's some validity and some maybe some parts that I'm not sure if I fully agree upon. I thought, and I think the biggest thing that came out today, right, is Maria Taylor sitting down with him. We used to host a show in Atlanta together back in the day before she was taking over the world together. And I thought the part that really, there's the Jalen part, but the part that really stood out to me, honestly, the most was when he discussed the internal pressure that this team put on themselves after the Super Bowl. I thought that was really telling, and the depth of the conversations that they had in the locker room about maybe some of the strengths and weaknesses that they had. And I was always told that some of the stuff that AJ was saying, maybe publicly, maybe through social media, maybe through the media itself, there was plenty of guys on that staff that didn't disagree with him. Maybe they didn't agree with him saying it, but they thought he was right in a lot of the concerns that he had with the way the offense was working, with the struggles the offense that he saw. He's a really smart football player. Like you mentioned, the show I host with Steve. Steve and him are close, and Steve's like, his IQ in terms of football and understanding the game is outstanding. So he saw a lot of these things that were maybe coming up short with them as an offense that were concerning to him. And he's not alone. They were probably concerning to some other people in that room. But that part of the conversation was telling to me that it almost like he saw some of the writing on the wall about the way this offense operated. And listen, he was a little disgruntled when Saquon's getting 2,000 yards and they're winning a Super Bowl, because there is a part of every one of these players that their legacy plays a factor. And I think their legacy, and I think AJ's not absent of this, if you are in that small group at the top, and he is, and he was over the last 4 years, 4 or 5 best receivers in football, you have a 8-9 year window to cement yourself as one of the best players to play this game at your position, and that matters to these guys. Wrong, right, or indifferent, it matters to them. And if whether it's the offensive system or the quarterback or your situation is holding you back from that, that rubs some players the wrong way. I mean, hell, I just mentioned Steve. He won a Triple Crown and lost a ton in Carolina, and I think that impacted his legacy in a lot of people's minds with his numbers. So I do think this stuff matters to players on varying degrees. And I think it would be out of line to say it probably didn't matter to AJ. I think it did.
Yeah. So, James, you talk to a lot of people. You talk to people inside the Eagles. You speak to people around the league. And I don't know how many times I've said this today and in the past weeks, but every story that's come out has been everybody loves AJ. The coaches love AJ. The front office loves AJ. The owner loves AJ. He's beloved by his teammates. And then you look at the stories that come out, they're critical of Jalen Hurts. So I don't know how I'm supposed to look at AJ negatively, even though he requested a trade or he wanted to be traded. If all his teammates are essentially agreeing with everything that's out there, like you had said, going on social media and creating a stir by doing that, that's not good for business.
Yeah, and he owned that a little bit in that conversation. He did.
He did, and he owned it during the season as well. But also, guys are going to say, like, yeah, he shouldn't do that, but he ain't wrong, right? Everything that you're hearing about AJ, what kind of a teammate, and what was it like internally behind the scenes?
Yeah, I back to that same part where he was, and he kind of praised himself a little bit, right? Saying, like, I think I did all the right things behind closed doors when we were having those conversations. Was an interesting way to put it, but I didn't really hear anything of the contrary, in all honesty. Like, I think he does care about winning a lot. I think the part that I mentioned with legacy and personal aspects of it, I mean, he's a wide receiver. I mean, think about it. Like, these guys are some of the best players on the planet, athletes on the planet, highest paid players in this league. And everything from the offensive line to the quarterback has to go right for you to be successful. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating to play that position, specifically at the level that AJ played it, and the amount of work he puts in. I mean, we all know this, how hard of a worker he is. You do that for 6 days a week, and on Sunday, it doesn't come to fruition. You do all this to get your knee right by Sunday, and all this maintenance and work you put in, and it doesn't happen. It does start to build a frustration. Now, winning oftentimes masks that, and when things kind of turned and you're continuously going through the same issues offensively, the same rotation of offensive coordinators over and over again, he's getting told, and I don't think Nick Sirianni was lying to him, but Nick essentially telling him on a regular basis, to my understanding, like, we're going to do this for you. You're going to get successful on Sunday for this. I don't think Nick was lying. I think it might have been Nick was hoping that happens, but the play caller and the quarterback may have not allowed that to happen on the level that he was telling it to AJ. And so I think all of that has to build some frustration. But I do think, like, we can't just put everything on Jalen Hurts. I mean, the guy has won a lot of games. He's won a lot of big games. He plays outstanding on the big stage. He's gotten, outside of this past year where the offense struggled, like, he's gotten better almost every single season of his NFL career. He works as hard as anybody in football. But there was just something that wasn't working in AJ's mind. That's the final conclusion that I was told, that just he didn't see it working and he wanted a fresh start elsewhere, and the Eagles granted him that.
Yeah, and it's such an odd situation because you're right. I think AJ's one of these guys. I think when AJ's one of these guys where when it's over, and there's no going back. And they probably tried to say going into last season, hey, I got you. It's gonna be different. The offense is gonna be better. We're gonna be good. And then you start off the season and he's not seeing it, even though they're winning. He became frustrated. Talk to James Palmer. The show is 89 with Steve Smith. YouTube.com/89 show. It's amazing. He's a noted NFL insider all over the place. So a first and a fifth. Even just last week we heard. Maybe we even talked to you about it last week, that maybe it won't happen so quickly. Maybe the Patriots don't want to give up a first-round draft pick. Maybe it's going to go into July or in the training camp. And then 15 minutes after the 4 o'clock time hits on June 1st, they cleanly get a first and a fifth. Are you surprised at the compensation, and are you surprised how easily the trade went down?
Not surprised by either. I did have that conversation with you guys, I think, a couple of times, and I was one of the people saying, like, how he's going to use whatever leverage he has, because that's what he does. And didn't you think that, like, that fifth in 2027, you're like, this is such a Howie addition at the last minute to a trade? Like, just how he's got to get a little extra in there, and it's just the way he operates. But, you know, I think when we were going through all of this timetable and just waiting for June 1, we're looking at the landscape of the NFL, and nothing stays the same, right? Like, Rashee Rice gets locked up for 30 days. Kansas City's wide receiver room is not outstanding. And is that a team that comes into the mix, right? Like, you heard rumors of other teams. I think that's just because of the nature of the waiting game. But when the weekend rolled around, that's when I started hearing, like, oh, this is probably just going to get certainly done. I think you just kind of, like, always weigh your options before something of this magnitude. A player of this size always has somewhat of a say, even if there's, like, no trade clause or anything, but always a little bit of a say in what's in there. What are the Chargers doing? You know, there's always these teams that people were curious about. But it did always, I mean, I don't think we ever got away from New England. And the compensation was essentially what I thought it was going to be because of the impact of the 2027 draft. I mean, it's outstanding in a lot of people's minds. I know it's early, but I know Howie would have probably preferred it in 27. But he does have a luxury that almost every other general manager in this league doesn't have. Maybe John Lynch might have it. I'm not sure. Maybe Les Snead, but like time. He has time. Other GMs don't. He operates on a different timeline than other general managers because of the trust that Jeffrey Lurie has in him. So 28 pick doesn't matter to him. And it was interesting with this draft. I'll just use this as an example. There's been a lot of guys where we're going, they're coming out, and they don't, and they stay another year. That could happen for the 28 draft. I know that Philly looked at a bunch of players they thought were coming out in this draft, and they ended up not coming out. And now they're coming out in 27. Same thing could happen in 27 for 28, where there's guys in the 27 draft that you think are coming out, and they stay for 28. I just think Howie has a better grasp of time in terms of what he's allowed. So the compensation is fine. I know we're comping it to Jalen Waddle quite a bit, and I think the Patriots and the Broncos are almost in the exact same boat. Hell, they were in the AFC title game together. Rookie quarterback contract, weak wide receiver room, in all honesty, among all the AFC contenders, and they both, reach because they're windows right now.
James, great stuff across the board. I'm about to go head-to-head with our afternoon drive host, Bill Calrolo. He's a family member of Nick Sirianni, so he's going to have his back, and I'm more of a Jalen Hurts guy, and that's fine. But I need some ammo here, and I guess where I'm going is, how does Nick Sirianni escape all criticism when, I get it, like they won, but this is a locker room issue. And now you have A.J. Brown, who joins Maria Taylor and says that he was the only one holding people accountable. So, like, how is Nick Sirianni escaping all criticism at this point in time, or am I missing something?
Well, I mean, I think one of the best winning percentages to start a career in the history of the NFL.
I said, give me bullet points. Don't help him.
I'm saying that
Don't help him.
Brother, I'm saying that just helps him right now, right? I mean,
Yes.
he's been to 2 Super Bowls.
You're right.
I mean, it's such a unique situation. I was talking to someone in the league about this the other day, and they're like, I think Nick does a really good job there. I think he knows, he's learned how to allow his coordinators to operate. I think his relationship with Vic Fangio is actually really, really good, and that side of the ball works because he goes in and, hey, Vic, who do I need to push this week? What do you need out of Cooper DeJean this week? Do I need to do something? Okay, and let's Vic kind of run it on that sense. I know the CEO role, you always, if you're not calling plays and then something happens like this in terms of the culture, which falls on your shoulders, you go, whoa, that's your lane, that's your avenue. Why are we having these issues when that should be your main focal point? you still can't manage all the personalities perfectly no matter what. So I would say that I don't know if he's escaping it because the team still has a little bit of this reputation around the league of just being a little chaotic behind closed doors. Now, Nick has told me he kind of likes that edge. I think it fits Philly a little bit. But in the same conversation I was having, it was interesting that this executive was like, if he does part ways with Philly, I don't know if he gets a head coaching job elsewhere. And that's the fascinating part of this whole situation where, like, Nick has had this unbelievable success here in Philadelphia. I think he fits the city really well, and I think he has found his way. But at the same time, it's a unique situation in Philly that's working. And if he was elsewhere, I don't know if it works in that manner. Maybe he's a great college coach. I could see him crushing that, in all honesty.
Dude, I mean, no one respects the quarterback for the most part, right? Like, you look at any of these quarterback lists, nobody likes Jalen Hurts. Nobody thinks he's good. National criticism is crazy of Jalen Hurts being a Super Bowl MVP. And nobody thinks the coach does anything. I mean, it really is bizarre. This is such
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
This is such a Philly situation to be in. But, hey, they win.
It is.
They do.
It is, right? And it's weird. And I do think the top part really masks some of the issues. Like, they're tremendous at team building. They have an owner that is spending cash. Not every owner spends the money that Jeffrey Lurie spends, right? Like, you have to spend cash in some of these instances, the way they manipulate their contracts to allow all this talent there. But the way that they blend traditional scouting and analytics and these things, it's a really well-run building that's chaotic at times, and I think is one of the more fascinating case studies in the way that this league operates.
And James Palmer, great stuff. Lastly, how involved were the Eagles in the Myles Garrett situation and your overall thoughts of the trade?
Yeah, how he's involved in everything. I would assume that he was making any sort of push or effort to get himself involved. I don't know. I still have to check. I don't know the lengths in which he was there. I was told it was essentially a one-team type of negotiation there. And when Jared Verse came in, that's when things changed for the Browns. So I was talking to people in that organization yesterday after the trade, and they're like, dude, we are on the golf course right now for a Browns golf outing, and this is a very difficult place for me to be standing right now after this trade went down. So, like, it was a rough spot for some of those executives with the Browns, but it essentially was they were the team willing to give Jared Verse, which is an up-and-coming, outstanding, maybe potentially star player, the compensation, and the timelines were just different between Myles Garrett and where the Browns are in terms of their timelines. That's what essentially changed. But if A.J. Brown would have went to the Rams, and it was close at one point, I don't think the Rams would have been able to do this deal. And so A.J. Brown not going to the Rams allows Myles Garrett to possibly land in L.A.
And Myles Garrett might be in Philly because now they have the extra first-round draft pick.
That's true.
Could have happened. All right.
They would have.
James, thank you, buddy. Go Phils.
Yep.
We'll
Go
talk
Phils.
to you
Let's
soon.
go. Take it easy.
All right, buddy. James Palmer.
Great stuff.
As always.
Yep. Yeah, look, the fact that you had this situation break out in the offseason after a Super Bowl, week after week, you're winning, and yet, like, there's still this negative vibe. Nick Sirianni step up. I want to hear the coach speak a little bit here.
So here's what I would say to you. I mean, being that you had a disgruntled wide receiver that was demanding a trade during the season, he kept the season together. There was it didn't get out. So if A.J. Brown requested a trade, everybody on that team knows that A.J. Brown requested a trade.
Yep.
And it didn't get out. And you know what that is? That's his players respecting him.
What got out
that you're
to
not
Joe?
putting it out there.
To Joe
Santa Luquido. I'm telling you, for everybody that wants to say Joe Santa Luquido's right about it, if he puts something out there, he's right.
Hey, man.
Joe's a hell of a reporter.
No, and your point is Nick Sirianni deserves credit.
He held it together.
I could see that angle.
You got a pain-in-the-ass wide receiver that hates the quarterback.
I could see that angle. I'm just asking the questions.
We asked the question and we questioned the answer.
That's it. That's what we're doing here.
So did you see that jabroni Danny Parkins is already starting it's obvious why they want the 2028 draft pick. They're already thinking about replacing Jalen Hurts. I don't even know what show he's on FS1. This is going to be what he does, which is the Jalen Hurts. They're already plotting to replace Jalen Hurts. You think that they got a first round? I mean, they could if Jalen Hurts sucks this year, or maybe every GM in the NFL likes first round draft picks.
I'll go with that.
Jabroni.
I'll go with that. Now, if it was a 2027 and they were adamant they wanted a 2027 pick, okay, then you could sell me a little bit more on the quarterback because that one is supposed to be the deeper draft, of course, with Arch at the top. We understand it, but yeah, come on, man. At the end of the day, this franchise, is very happy with what Jalen Hurts is. Am I wrong on that statement? Let me just.
You're wrong on that statement.
Oh, come on. I am not wrong. He is a franchise quarterback who has won the Super Bowl, who has played at the highest of the highs, and has performed. Okay, he had a bad season. You mean to tell me or Howie Roseman is not happy with Jalen Hurts right now?
Going forward, he's not happy enough to give him a contract extension.
This year.
Not happy enough to give him a contract extension. Not happy enough to where there wasn't every story being leaked by the organization. Like, give me a break.
No.
Are they ready to move on from Jalen Hurts? Let's see what happens this year.
I get down with that.
This is a crossroads for Jalen Hurts. The most likely scenario is that he responds and plays well this year, and the Eagles are good.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
But
you're right here, right now, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni both are excited about what this upcoming season is because they have a quarterback in Jalen Hurts.
You're doing coach speak to me.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's something Nick Sirianni would say at a press conference.
Ray?
How about this?
How about Ray raise the deciding vote? Ray, am I wrong?
No, but how about this? How would you not have concerns about Jalen Hurts if you're Howie Roseman or Nick Sirianni? How would you not have concerns? They have eyes. It's not Stevie Wonder. They saw what we saw last year. He's not a good thrower. He struggles to do basic throws. Yes, two things can be true. He's an unbelievable big-time player in big games. He also sucks throwing the ball a lot of times.
And that's in my notes.
You wouldn't be concerned about that?
I'm believing.
Oh, you keep believing.
I'm believing.
Like I said, I think the most likely scenario is that when Jalen has been challenged in his career,
he steps up.
He steps up, man. And he's done it in college. He's done it in the pros. He's a Super Bowl MVP because he does that. And maybe he needs to have these down years or these down times to where he responds. There's something special about the dude. There's no doubt about that. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going anywhere. But like you're telling me you don't have concerns about Jalen Hurts throwing the ball? Man, I know you're a Jalen Hurts guy. It's in your bio. All right, listen.
I just want to win.
I need you to rest up.
I just want to win.
Because the battle of Brace and Bill is coming up next. What are we? I don't even. What are we fighting again?
We got to get the terminology down as far as these.
What is the
questions are
debate?
concerned.
I don't know. You were livid with what Bill said yesterday.
Yeah.
Bill was creeping over your shoulder as you were going after A.J. Brown.
Bill is Mr. Source now. So I don't know if you guys know this. He's Mr. Source. He's got the inside connections. I get in my car yesterday, and I got Bill.
And he was right.
I'm told that it's going to happen today. We all knew it was going to happen yesterday.
Yeah, but he said it.
Get out of here.
We got another one on this side.
Hey, Sean. That's called Bill the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer, Bill Calarulo.
Yucky.
These guys are going to fight coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The trade got done. I'm Ray done with this Fanatic Sports Update. We've been talking about it for months. A.J. Brown, will he be a Patriot? When will he be a Patriot? What are the Eagles going to get back? He's a Patriot. They got a 2028 first-round pick, 2027 fifth-round pick. Jeremy Fowler joined us earlier in the show to talk about how the trade came to be.
By all intents and purposes, before the draft, both teams pretty much knew what they had to do to get it done. And it was sort of like wink, wink, accepted. Maybe not agreed to in terms. There's nothing firm, but there were parameters at that point. Like everybody felt comfortable waiting till June to get this done.
You can listen to that full conversation with Jeremy Fowler on our website, the Fanatic app. Watch it on YouTube, just like our conversation we just had with James Palmer. Again, Fanatic app, our website, or our YouTube page. Myles Garrett also dealt yesterday. He goes from the Browns to the Rams. The Rams giving up Jared Verse and a couple of picks in exchange for Myles Garrett. Phillies begin a 3-game set with the Padres tonight, and the Stanley Cup Finals begin tonight. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call 24-hour victim helpline 877-MAD-HELP. Visit MAD.org. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union, and the NBA Finals. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
A.J. Brown, Colarulo, loves A.J. Brown.
Can I
He
get a...
hates Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. He hates Jalen Hurts.
Did you know about the AO?
Yeah, they actually did it at the games this year. Like the Eagles at the link, they would put up on the big screen when he would make a catch. Ayo! And the fans would go, Ayo!
They did?
Yes.
And that was
Did you
this
lead
year,
them?
this thing?
It was this season. Yeah, he wanted it. He mentioned it in the offseason leading in, and then they did it all season long.
I was there 2 games. I don't even...
Well, he probably didn't have a catch. They went halves of football without completing a pass.
That's a very good point. All right, so, Bill, you ruffled some feathers yesterday.
I hate when he spits facts. I do it. I hate it.
By the way,
hate it.
we have a new name for you. I know you were busy recording something in the back.
Yes.
You're the sorcerer.
That me?
Yes, because you always have the source. Sean was very annoyed that you were claiming sources on the air yesterday.
Yes.
Annoyed as I just was rolling my eyes.
Oh, even worse.
Like the Sly Stallone gift that he just posted on my Instagram feed. But that's all right. I love it. But I get in the car and he's like, I'm hearing that it's going down today. Yeah, we all heard it was going down yesterday.
Wait, where's Ray Dunn? Do I get my Eagles insider accreditation from Ray after I went on the air yesterday and said it is definitely happening today that I was told per sources? Yeah. Ray?
So after you got the Brandon Graham following Tim McManus, now we got it's going to happen today after every, the problem is you go on the air at 2:00. I need you to start just dropping these at 9 in the morning. You need to start just getting ahead.
In my defense.
How about 10 a.m.?
In my defense, did I not come into the midday show yesterday and say, hey, just a heads up, I'm being told it will definitely happen today.
You didn't come into my studio.
You did.
So if you want to, if you want to go on the air and break it like that, I'm all for that. I also don't want to take your, take your spot and be like, yeah, I'm hearing it's going to happen today. You can kind of be like, yeah, all indications are that this could happen today. I wanted to save it for you because I knew you were coming on to say it.
No, I mean, it wasn't shocking. A lot of people expected it yesterday. What I did not expect was this viral rant from Sean Brace today going after A.J. Brown. Did you see all the aggregators are out? They're taking it. They're not even giving you credit, Sean. They're just copying the video and posting it everywhere.
A point blank, A.J. Brown is the villain to me.
You called him a fraud.
He is fraudulent.
You did call him a fraud.
He's very...
All right, so state your case cleanly to Bill Colarulo in 45 seconds.
Well, I would say for the most part, you look at what this team had and what they were coming off of with the Super Bowl championship, and it wasn't good enough. And why was it not good enough? Because it was about him. It was about I, me. And it shouldn't be shocking. This is a guy that pulled a book out on the sideline. This is a guy that never really had his quarterback's back when he was taking all the shrapnel, when all the issues. And I know that I did bring Nick Sirianni into the conversation, and there's 2 ways of looking at it because it is impressive that he was able to keep it together when you do have your number 1 wide receiver requesting a trade multiple times throughout the course of a year. However, isn't that supposed to be a strength of your boy, the culture? I'd say the culture takes a little bit of a hit if your star wide receiver wants out after you win the Super Bowl. My big issue with Bill is you cannot tell me, and I wonder if you changed your tune, having a full day of conversation on these airwaves. Of course, everybody filling up your timeline. A.J. Brown still not a villain in your eyes?
No, in fact, I think A.J. Brown at times is misunderstood. Now, I will agree with you. Did A.J. Brown always handle it the right way? No. But I also think, and I see you rocking the Jalen Hurts jersey today, and I know I'm going to...
It was laundry day.
Which makes the video look even better that you're wearing a Hurts jersey.
It was laundry day, boys.
Listen, I know I'm going to rub the Jalen lovers the wrong way here, and I'm not a Hurts hater. I'm not. But at what point do we talk about the quarterback? Like, in 2023... Oh, it was Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni, right? In 2024, A.J. Brown is just being loud and vocal. It's not Jalen. And then in 2025, it's Kevin Patullo. It's A.J. Brown. It's Nick Sirianni. The common denominator seems to be the quarterback. Now, if we're going to give him the credit when they win, which I think he deserves credit when they win, I also think we need to turn our focus to the quarterback at times when they are struggling. And I don't agree with the way A.J. Brown always handled it. But I said this yesterday. You can go through, there are countless articles that have been written with sources, ESPN, Tim McManus, who's joining us, and Jeremy Fowler, who was with you earlier. He told us on the air that in the article, they had 13 sources. They actually had even more than that they didn't put in the article. And every single one of them is about Jalen.
Went to Jalen. Yep.
It's Jalen, it's Jalen, it's Jalen, it's Jalen. So why now are we blaming A.J. Brown? See, I think what A.J. Brown is sometimes as a leader, it's not up to you to tell people what they want to hear. It's up to you to tell people what they need to hear. And I felt like A.J. Brown, even though I didn't always agree with how he did it, felt that he needed to be the guy to speak up when things weren't going well. When the passing offense is struggling like it was in 2024, he was the one who came out and said, we need to improve the passing offense or we're not going to win a Super Bowl. And then, to Jalen Hurts' credit, huge game against the Steelers. That's when you get that's what y'all wanted to see, huh? But last year, A.J. kept saying, this isn't good enough. You're citing to the fact, they were 4-0 and he couldn't keep his mouth shut. It's because we all watched that team and said, you know what? This isn't going to be good enough. You can't go a half of football without completing a damn reception. And I know everyone wants to blame Patullo. Well, Patullo's gone. A.J. still didn't want to be here. Why? He did not want to be with the quarterback. And when you hear what everyone has said about him, Saquon Barkley didn't just say, I like A.J. Brown. Saquon Barkley didn't just say, A.J. Brown's a good dude. He said he's one of the best teammates I've ever been around. So this narrative of him being the villain, this narrative of A.J. Brown being a terrible teammate, I'm not hearing that from the guys who actually play with him. I'm only hearing it from radio personalities and Eagles fans who want to say that the quarterback had nothing to do with this issue.
All right. A lot there.
I think he needs a standing 8 count right now.
No,
though.
a lot there. I will start by saying, we never talk about the quarterback? Really? We never talk about the quarterback? Jalen Hurts is. Hang on, I allowed you to talk.
That's true. I will. Hold on, turn my mic off.
Jalen Hurts has stepped to the podium week in, week out. A.J. Brown addressed the media one time last year in that gaggle. All right, but he's the one throwing the grenade. He's the one that is ruining the Super Bowl champion, reigning champion vibes. Wasn't Jalen Hurts. It was A.J. Brown. That's it. As far as yardage and whether or not he's getting his, I don't care about any of that. Eagles fans don't care about any of that. We care about winning. 4-0? 4-0 to start the season. That's not good enough. I know for damn sure I wasn't talking about anything taking place in January or February at the end of bleeping September. They're 4-0. What else did you want from the guy? All in all, look, you're not like the things that you're saying about A.J. Brown. I'm with you, man. He was a great talent. And this stinks that he's no longer going to be here. But he's the one that wanted out. He's the one that was selfish. He's the one that was look at me, look at me, look at me. He's the one that when you win a Super Bowl championship, it wasn't good enough. His words, not mine. Not the radio host, not the Eagles fan. So, again, you could tell me that Saquon Barkley gets up there on the podium and says, I love him as a teammate. I'm not here to deny that. But what I can tell you is I know the difference between a good teammate and a bad teammate. Let's ask Brian Dawkins if a good teammate is someone that requests multiple trades throughout the course of a year. What do you think B-Doc's going to say?
Yeah, listen, I think,
want guys that I want to go to war with.
I think it got to the point where A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts on a personal level could no longer coexist. And clearly, you're not going to trade the franchise quarterback, nor should you. He's a Super Bowl MVP. It's a lot easier to try to replace a wide receiver than it is a franchise quarterback. So he was never going to win that battle. So I understand why A.J.'s out. I don't think you should have considered trading Jalen. That's not the point. But if they had these issues and A.J. was the one who was willing to stand up for the team, again, I don't always agree with the way he did it. And I think it got to the point where he could just no longer coexist. Like, let's just look at our example here. What if you and John Marks couldn't stand each other off the field? I know they're all saying the politically correct thing now. Yeah, we still have love for each other.
Yeah.
They can't stand each other, man. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown do not get along. A.J. Brown got sick and tired of whatever was going on between him and Jalen, and he asked for a trade. That is not necessarily the right way to handle things. I agree with you, but he knew he wasn't going to win that battle. But let's just go back to some of the things you said. A.J. Brown, after the Super Bowl, said it wasn't enough for me. The timing of it was interesting. It was 2 days after. It was before the parade. I get all that. But we also looked at Jalen refusing to put the ring on his finger and said, oh, man, what a competitor. He won't even put the ring on his finger because he wants another one. But A.J. does it, and he does it in his own unique way, and it's selfish.
Remember the screensaver?
Yeah, the Jalen Hurts screensaver. Yeah, of him walking through the Chiefs confetti. Listen, I honestly love Jalen Hurts as a player, and I like that he's the quarterback of the Eagles. But I think you're putting your head in the sand to not think he had a lot of the reason to do with A.J. Brown doing what he did.
Listen, that was a hell of a battle. No. Sean, you came back and that was a 10-9 round. Bill gave you a 10-9 round.
It's a draw.
I mean, listen, we're out of time.
We are out of time.
Was it long enough?
Well, here's what you're going to get. Last thing. The Jalen Hurts defenders are going to say Sean Brace is right, Bill's an idiot, and the people who hate on Jalen are going to say I'm right. I don't think really there's any right answer here. It's just this became it became a situation that needed a change. So AJ had to go.
Real quick, I can't believe he would name somebody your godfather to your child, and then all of a sudden he doesn't get the football the right way, and all of a sudden you want nothing to do with the guy. That tells me a lot about that individual. And I'm not trying to make a big deal about that, but let's be honest.
And he didn't invite him to the wedding.
I don't care about the wedding, but if you're going to name somebody your godfather, and all of a sudden, you know what? Oh, we just grow apart. What are we doing?
Or name someone the Godfather, then take that title away from them.
Well, that was for radio purposes.
Yeah, there's a lot more behind the scenes.
You have A.J. Brown press conference in New England coming up top of the show?
We got it right away at 2 o'clock, and then we got Tim McManus joining us at 3.
All right. So don't go anywhere. And then Bill will be battling with everybody.
Love you, Sean.
All right.
Man, Bill.
All right, that's coming up. YouTube chat recap, and we're going to make Sean mad once again. We have something to play. Middays the Marks, 97.5.
asking me if I'm moving or what's going on or what's next. And I'll clear it up for you right here, right now with the official statement. I don't know. I'm sorry.
The official statement, John.
When was that official?
That was last night. That was the Instagram post.
Oh, really?
That was the Angie. Yeah.
Gotcha.
My official statement. Yeah.
Here's my official statement. I'm glad he's in New England.
See ya. Nice work, Ray.
So we actually have, so you know that they're participating in practice right now. Sean Brace has the latest. Jalen Hurts' first throw in the offseason program, Ray. What do you think it was? Give a guess.
Don't tell me it was intercepted.
Long touch. So is it long touchdown, incomplete, interception? What do you think it is?
Cooper DeJean took it back to the house for his buddy A.J. Brown.
Sean, what is it?
It was interception by Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
What is going on back there?
7-on-7. I know. Perfect timing. Whatever. It is what it is. But it is interesting that they're out there practicing. Like, I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit more.
A.J. Brown's coming up before the Patriots practice, I believe. Bill Ricky will carry that coming up at 2.
No, they're practicing right now.
Was it after practice?
Correct.
The Patriots?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were out there on the field. He's
because Vrabel spoke before practice, so now that they're going to bring him in after.
AJ got the number 1 jersey.
So, unfortunately for Bill, I hate when because it's like you're planning your show with him coming on right away, and then he cruises in at like 2:27.
Oh, Bill's got a lot of ammo. He's ready to go.
Bill's ready to go.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fun show listening to him.
We just got him all lubed up there.
Yep. Yeah, good. Listen, let me just say this, all right? The star of the show today, without a doubt, Mr. Sean Brace.
Oh, thank you.
Dude,
Thank you very much.
You killed it.
I appreciate it.
Your opening salvo. Sometimes, Sean, you just let me cook.
That's it.
Other times, I just let you cook.
That's it.
I knew that you were going to be feeling like this today. And I was more than happy to say, here you go, brother, go for it. And you went.
I appreciate it. Yeah, look, it's where I was. And I, mentally for today, I thought that this is where we need to be. There will be plenty of time to revisit and feel good and run the top 5 touchdowns for A.J. Brown, all that. But not today. No, not today. My official statement.
Here's the Instagram post that we put out. He's a fraud, and I'm glad he's out of here. And then the video is you. Look at you. You have your Hurts jersey on, and you have an Eagles championship hat. You look like they plucked you out of the stands and threw you behind a microphone.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Your face is all red. You're slamming your fist into the table. But look did you see the video? He's so mad.
I just hope someone at the Sports Hub sees it. And I just want that to be what Boston thinks the reaction to A.J. Brown was.
I'm gonna send it. Listen, I'll send it up there to Rick, their program director.
I mean,
Scott Zolak's coming on with Bill and Ricky at 4.
Nice.
He does the games for the Patriots, and he's the midday host. Former
I
Patriot
was running around crazy this morning. I didn't have a chance to listen to the boys, but I know Kincaid's on my level, right? He's fired up. He's mad, over the whole situation and the way A.J. Brown is being discussed. Right? That was my thing. My thing, it just pushed me to the point that, we're trying to create this narrative or rewrite somewhat of the story that A.J. Brown's the good guy here. I
agree with you there.
He's liked. I know he's liked. He's loved. I like A.J. Brown.
Well, I mean, I will say this, that as I watched everything go down, man, when I say it's calculated, I don't mean that as a compliment. Everything. The book on the sideline, it's like, oh, really? He had the book on the sideline. All right, let me roll my eyes. I mean, I rolled my eyes a little bit at the time, but let me really roll my eyes at it now. Right? Like you said, the post last night, he deactivated his Twitter. Now all of a sudden, boom, 4:10, the trade goes down. He's with Maria Taylor a couple hours later. He's at practice today. They do that in New York. They do the show in New York.
Yep.
So he had a car service take him down to New York and then take him right back up to
correct.
I don't
to
necessarily know it was done in New York.
Oh, okay.
Because there was the Patriots rug in the room, and he mentions he's had the Patriots rug in his home, and she thanked him for welcoming her into his home.
Well, where is he? Does he already have a house up there?
I'm telling you.
I mean, remember the Sports Hub report that he was shopping up there?
Yeah, well, I had the same report with LeBron in the Sixers a couple years ago.
It's a pretty plain
But,
room.
listen, you're right.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Well, it would make sense because he's on the foot. He's at the facility at 9 a.m. today. Yeah. They recorded that last night at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever. That's a pretty short turnaround. Everything was arranged. I mean, the whole thing was perfectly executed. Really, it looks like it's like a TV script.
Yeah.
That they did here.
The heist.
All right, let's get to the YouTube chat recap. What do we got?
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie.
Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Giddy up.
Is it possible that we are overreacting just a little to AJ leaving? We lost Sweat, who contributed a ton to a Super Bowl at a more important position, and we didn't mention it once. Austin from the chat.
Well, I mean, it's fairly obvious what the differences are. Josh Sweat was a free agent, and he took a big payday to go to Arizona. A.J. Brown won a Super Bowl here and is demanding a trade. I mean, no, this is when your star wide receiver requests a trade and you trade him out of town, this is going to be the reaction. No, I wasn't mad. But, yeah, I'm glad there are people that feel a certain way about this today. Because he shouldn't get off scot-free.
Also, when you include the franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that's a big thing, too. Jalen does come off as looking like the bad guy here. All right, what's next?
Why do we care about this is the question. He has been gone since the end of last year. Why all of this new emotion? Tommy John from the chat.
Because he got traded, dimwit. Why do you think? What? The trade actually happened. Are these real messages?
This is what the conversation is? Come on, man.
These are real messages. Why are we making a big deal about it? I don't know. The trade just happened. I had to hear from hundreds of people that called me a loser because I said that the trade was going to happen. For months, people denied this was going to happen. And it happened, and we found out compensation. Wait, why is this a big deal? Yeah, let's talk about the Phillies against the Padres. Better idea. All right, what's next?
I'm not that mad at AJ. I'm disappointed, but I'm also sympathetic that reaching the pinnacle of the sport left him unfulfilled. Phil from the chat.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that anymore. I don't know if I really did. I mean, AJ is an interesting individual. He is. I like AJ Brown. His 4 years here have been great. I'm glad he's out. I'm happy to have a 2028 first-round draft pick. Let's see what they can do. I feel great about the team this year. I don't think the Eagles are any worse off without AJ Brown. They're going to be fine. It's a great organization. What's next?
The AJ wink is also known on the streets as the Dun. Andy from the chat.
Hey, Ray.
Nice work.
The wink is that wink. Now looking back on it, remember how mad people got?
Oh, yeah.
I think I even defended it, and I was just like, he's just fooling around.
It's AJ. Beat AJ.
Those guys knew.
Yeah.
Those guys knew.
Yep.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew. They knew.
Michael Parsons, bad journalist.
Yeah, he didn't know. What's next?
Bill just needs to ask Brace when Labor Day is, and Brace's head will really be spinning. If Bayless from the chat.
Yeah, we got to be out on time today because Bill and Ricky.
Oh, you're funny. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Just ask him what Monday in the month is Memorial Day, and so I'll be like humana.
When's Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Now is Thanksgiving on a different day every year, Sean?
Nope, only Thursdays.
It's on a Thursday. We're sure.
That's right. Oh,
all right.
Man.
Fun one today.
Yeah, great one. I knew we were going to have a blast.
Good work by you. Good work, Ray. Everybody, Dutsy, Negative Nate. Coming up next is Ricky and Bill Unfiltered. See you.
Now.
Jeremy Fowler of ESPN and James Palmer of Bleacher Report both joined us in the show earlier today to talk about the deal and what's next for the Eagles. You can listen both those